exactly. That is bizarre.
Let that test to check your upload, because that's what you're doing is uploading, right?
Yeah, I'm not worried at the moment. I am.
Let me read those injections. Let's see what these people were asking for.
1 second. I just want to switch it over on here. I summon a rain of pies on the party. Okay, I'll work that.
A rain of pie? Like
yeah, that was the victory pieing.
I don't like shit like that. One confused enemy holding a butcher cleaver looks at thunder and mouths me. I don't get that.
That's so momentary that I missed what the fuck the context even was.
As loot, the crew can fight.
An enchanted toadstool that grants the person that eats it the spell enlarge. So you eat a mushroom and you grow. Add 1,000 XP to all.
To what? Our experience?
Right?
I would accept that one.
Yeah. But the thing is, and it comes from Sarah, she puts 500 points into it, and it's like, again, that's affecting players directly. You don't do that. You can't do that. Like, every injection that I seen go up there was oh, now we're green. Now we're green. Okay, whatever. Well, anyway, what was I saying is every injection that was going up there was what it was, and like I said to Johnny, eventually I had had enough. And then when there were legit injections that came up, they fell flat because frankly, I've been trolled the way I have, and I don't have the wherewithal in me anymore. I just don't.
I do have to admit, I was watching the injections on my phone, and there was when they were popping up, I'm like, that's stupid. That's stupid. What are you guys doing?
Yeah, exactly. You know, I give people this
opportunity. And then you got to waste your time.
And the thing is, you know what it is? It's people taking it for granted. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. Do I get trolled? Oh, by all means,
you should make it so that people can only do one injection a night.
You know, it's gonna get to that point.
If they want to make a stupid injection,
it won't keep up though. It won't keep up. Here's the thing, is that people are doing what they're doing, and then they're gonna leave because I don't address it. I don't take it. I bitch about it, and people are like, oh, this guy's a dick. You know, this guy's a dick. Fuck this guy. I don't want to support a dick. You know, and that's fine. That's fine. You know, at the end of the day, I don't want to have to pander to that level. If I have to pander to that level in order to maintain a following, what the fuck is wrong with my stream?
Right.
Right?
If I were
because if every other RPG stream out there can get away with not having any goddamn even like acknowledgement of a viewership, then why the fuck do I have to take injections to get a viewership? And I answer, I'm taking injections because I want to.
And you want them to try to get involved a little bit, right?
I'm giving people that opportunity.
Like if I were to put in injection, it'd be the group, there's a secret door the group finds, and there's a chest in it that's a mimic, and it has loot in it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
That's an injection.
That's an injection. And it will get in there, and it doesn't rely on anything going on. It's just there at some point.
It fits the story, it fits into the game.
It's like the mimics on the bottles, that's fine. If they end up in a fucking pub, but then we get the same viewer showing up in the next session, throwing points to make a bar scene happen. And it's like, no, that's me literally taking everybody out of where they are now. Oh, you know what? Fuck it. Fuck it, sure. Fuck, I was just in the middle of a big bad evil guy fight, but fuck it, you want fucking beer bottles and mimics popping into people's faces. Fuck, let's do it right now.
It's dumb.
You know? Oh, let's bitch the DM out, because he didn't fucking address my idiotic fucking injection where I just had everybody transported to a fucking bar. You know, and I tell people, look, these are 140 character moments. You know? And I appreciate the feedback that people give me, but it's like people are losing sight of that. People are seriously losing sight of what
I would like it if the injections played a part in the fucking game.
I gave people, what do you mean?
Like I mean, like I said.
Oh yeah.
But this fits into the game.
This is the thing about address circumstances. Not hey, I did the B thing. I turned.
Oh, I thought that was an injection.
It was an injection, but they just you know they didn't think that I was going to take it where it was. You know, I'm the one who turned it into you having abilities.
Because that's cool that you get. So what was the injection itself?
The official injection was that you had a relationship with a fucking bee queen. That Mactillion was in love with a bee queen. But A, it's directly affecting the player. The queen having to come around and fucking get involved with you and suddenly I've got to put however much time into role playing that out.
That's stupid.
It is on the outset. But then I'll give it a price tag, a ridiculous price tag, and people met it. And so I was like, you know what? Fine. if we got that many points for it, I can turn it into something. You know, it's a thing. I will do a thing.
And then when I didn't like it, everybody was calling me salty.
Yeah, and it's like, hello? Does everybody not understand who is where and what is what role here? Like, at the end of the day, I can run this game without viewers. I can't run this game without fucking players. You know? And I give people the opportunity to get involved in the game, but nobody, and this was another thing that surprised me, is like nobody gets a limelight out of the viewership. The limelight you get is our recognition. The fact that we recognize there's a viewership is a cut above every other goddamn stream out there. The fact that I fucking call people out by name, that I have alerts and will speak to people and hold conversation and have relations and blah 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 blah, as a D&D streamer.
Yeah, even the characters in the game have conversations.
And that's just it. The players are involved. And you know what? We're not online. We're not on Roll20. We're around a real fucking table. We're not sitting on our computers conveniently able to look over on this side of the fucking screen while we're half paying attention to some fucktard and fuck knows where. And I'm fucking pissed when it comes down to this because people don't seem to understand what it is that they're asking for.
Right.
And I have given people this opportunity to get involved on a level, and people, you know, I give an inch, people want to take a yard. I get that. But, you know what? I'm going through a lot. I've been dealing with a lot. I've been dealing with however much from all sides. And for people to forget that shitting on the players means we don't have players. For people to forget that I can't translate fucking, like I'm not omnipotent. Okay, and I am processing however much I'm processing here, be it 7 people, 3 people, 8 people, 4 people, it doesn't fucking matter. It's people in my face that I'm taking actual interaction from, and then I have to look up every so often, and I have to fucking somehow correlate what I'm seeing on the screen with what's going on in the game, and I have to cogitate and coalesce all this fucking shit into an idea that I present forward. That's the whole concept of drama, freeze add-in. That's the challenge that I've created for me. That's the majesty of my sessions, is being able to blend and understand what people are throwing into the mix and create a nice stew out of the deal, right? However, if you're making a stew, you don't fucking bring another stew to put into your stew. You don't bring a cheeseburger to put into your stew. You might bring ground beef, you might bring cheese, you might bring fucking veggies. You do not bring a fucking cheeseburger
or some oatmeal.
Or some oatmeal, or fucking, you know, like a finished dish. You don't bring a finished dish. You bring an ingredient. You're adding to it.
Right, and I totally agree with that analogy.
And that's the point, is that people are bringing a fucking full buffet, and they're saying, no, stick my buffet in front of them! It's not fucking buffet!
They're bringing caviar to the fried chicken dinner.
And you know what? I appreciate the caviar, but it doesn't belong here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Save the caviar for when we're doing fish stuff. And that's the thing. It's like,
who did the injection about the bottle and the mimic bottle?
Oh, that was a random fellow that showed up a couple sessions.
What's his name? Do you remember?
I want to say like Villain View. It's
similar.
It was a French fellow.
A new person.
Yeah, as a newer person, French fellow. He actually donated, which was really cool. But you know, then he's got this wrong impression of what's going on, and I've got these regulars that, you know, love what I do, but then get as salty as they do, and it's like, well, do you guys not realize like how much I'm dealing with? People forget.
I'm trying to run a story here.
Oh my god. Not to mention, week after week, like, I am not a professional anything, and fuck, man, I mean, like, I'm under a lot of fucking pressure all of a sudden, shit. But I'm doing my best on this, and it's, you know, it's week after week that I'm doing my best to address everything that people want in there, and you know, I don't want anyone to stop, but I want people to think.
The injection should fit into the storyline.
The injection should absolutely be, that. Well, you know what?
And they should be helping you be creative, is what they should be.
Ideally, but here's the thing, is that if I'm going to just be curating the injections, like from now on, I'm just going to be tossing them if they suck. You know, if I can't work them in, I'm going to refund them, because I don't want to waste anybody's time or XP. Okay, I don't want to leave somebody unable to throw a good injection in there. And a good injection.
What you should just do is make it so that if you want to put an injection in, you better be good, or you lose the XP.
Well, here's the thing. If you make it too difficult to get an injection in, nobody's going to want to do it. If all people see,
they just got to put realistic injections in. No.
Sure. But
the person gets AIDS, right?
Here's the thing. Yeah, exactly. Right? Yeah, you can inject AIDS monsters, but you can't inject AIDS.
Ooh.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Give me one sec. Variety. Streaming. Let's get that last community up. Alright. Update information. Yeah, so, I mean, what can I say? Like, in the end, we get a lot of cases of good injections and bad injections. But last week was especially bad for people just putting up stuff that I can't work with, stuff that I'm not going to work with, stuff that's just going to cause problems for the game. Stuff like in this case, reversing die rolls. It's a neat idea if you wanted to have that as like a gameplay element in your D&D meets Uno. But it's not got any place here, especially when we're all trying to, enjoy the game.
Yeah, we have 7 players too, and
yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter how many players it is. It's you're causing
the game.
You're causing an intense stress that will slow down the game, and it may not seem like it. Oh, it's simple. You just flip the nose, but every time you roll a die, you gotta think about that. No, that's fucking getting out of there. Ringing a bell on 12. I can appreciate it's a cute idea, but I'm not gonna stop the game to go look for my bell, cut it down off of the rack, and then ring it. No. That
Sarah's on.
Yeah, of course Sarah's on. Stalwart supporter. Love her to bits.
Do you have Discord going?
No, I just restarted the machine and I'm slowly putting it up.
You should throw it up so she can chat with her. If she might just have an auto thing when you start.
Well, she does just, I think she just leaves the window open. And then that way, she might even just keep it muted, right? Muted, shrunk to the side, and anytime I'm streaming, I've got a viewer because she just leaves the tab open.
She hasn't said anything.
Yeah, no, like I said,
she's probably just on, like you said.
I've got the chat open, eh?
Yeah.
Like, if somebody was to say anything, we'd know. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, at the end of the day, it's, I've been going back and forth over emails, and I have a very, very distinct idea of how things should be when it comes to injections. But that's not to say that people can't have fun with them. Like, I'll stick stupid shit in. I don't mind, But it's got to be something I can work with. Like, for example, you remember the fish volcano? We did the fish volcano. I made it work. Right? It cost a lot, and it's fucking retarded, but it worked because I made it work. Right? I can do it. However,
the problem with that though was the players thought it was silly.
Yeah, the players thought it was silly.
So
but
therefore, it's when the people want to do dumb injections.
Yeah.
It kind of brings the players down a little bit.
It does.
The players
are
just like, fuck, another injection. That's
idiotic. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: is that on the other side, right?
Let me use this example.
If I can make
if you were DMing, would you make a volcano with fish in it and stuff? No, because
I wouldn't consider it.
It's not just not.
But no, hold on. Back the truck up. I wouldn't consider it, not off the hump. But then that honestly, I see as a limitation in myself.
I don't actually, because even when it happened, I was just like, okay, you're just appeasing the viewers.
Yes, however, if I can make that work, I take pride in that. I do. I take a personal sense of pride in being able to make the ridiculous work and be plausible. And the whole thing about that was, if you recall, they were the gnomes had hot-wired the phylactery and were using juice off of it, like the hot juice, the heat, to heat the coil of wire, and that's how they powered their city.
Yeah, no,
right?
That was totally cool.
And
that was cool.
And that was cool, but then what are the effects of that? What ancillary effects could you throw in there, right? Right. And so the fish volcano happened, it was neat, and it was worth the price, it was epic, it had some longevity, and then it was gone, and now it's just fish in a basin. And there's like an explanation for it, and that's fine, and we forgot all about it, right? But that's my article about how injections have a finite longevity. They have a very finite lifespan. They're there and then they're gone. You know what I mean? And they get regaled to history. And people are trying to inject the washerwoman, the transvestite washerwoman for Dorian, or they're trying to inject Dorian. Bring Dorian back. Again, he was a crowd pleaser, but let's move on. Let's come up with new stuff. If I've got plans for bringing Dorian in, now's not the time. right? And I've said this. I've got ideas for how Dorian can come in, and if Dorian's going to come in, he's going to come in as an intelligent entity who is
You're going to ruin Dorian if you do that.
No, but will I?
Yes.
Or will it be like a Dirk Gently twist where we start out with a cabbie and we end up with the
everybody
leader
likes
of the
Dorian
organization?
for what he is, for who he is, and how I role play him, right? And
Right.
that's what everybody likes about him. If you make him intelligent stuff, he's going to lose that luster.
Yeah,
It's like,
you're
you
missing
know that chick from Dirty Dancing?
Yeah.
She was going to become a major star. She got started. They already had her lined up for mass movies.
Right.
And she was done. It wasn't Dirty Dancing. She did Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Okay.
And that was her first movie, big movie. Everybody loved her in it. She got a nose job. Never did another movie after that.
Oh shit.
Never did another movie after this. Just because of her nose.
Ruined what was.
You know what I mean?
her
And
draw.
Dorian is the retard. Everybody loves that retard. You know what I mean?
It's fair.
Especially handicapped if you're offended by that. I don't
No,
even know what the
fair
right
enough.
term is.
Okay. But backing it up, the point is that people are trying to inject this thing in. And we had the injection the other day. Somebody injected Dorian into the battle while we were facing off against the tree, and it's like, you know what? Okay, I'll work it in. How will I work it in this momentary spate where a vestige of a citizenry hops out of the tree and then rolls around and dies a moment later, like old Rick and Morty style. You know, that's fine. That's fine. It's a failed shambling mound that took the vestige of Dorian and then disappeared. Right? That works into everything else that I've established for this tree, including the goo and the goo baby, which is another ridiculous injection that I have not only allowed, but have followed up on. Right? And the thing is, at the end of the day, I have absolutely provided the vehicle by which the viewership has tooled the story and caused some major annoyance actually to the players even, but to the entertainment of the rest of us, right? I like it. I like the goo baby. I like the fish fall. The fish volcano.
Was the goo baby a fucking injection?
And the goo baby was an injection. The cocoons and the ooze.
The goo baby, I didn't know it was an injection, and it didn't affect anything really. You know what I mean?
Except for Joe.
It wasn't bullshit.
Joe went crazy over it because he fucking hated it. Right? It's kind of
What do you mean Joe hated it?
Joe hated the goo baby injection. Joe hated the goo baby injection and hated the Brightwood kid and hates the honey and blah 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 blah. Right?
The honey thing, I think is gone too far.
Actually, I'll tell you what I told Joe. The honey, it's just a vector. It's just a vector. Do you know what I mean by that?
No.
Okay, so the Brightwood thing was always going to happen. The Brightwood thing was always there. It was written down as spores, though.
Right.
It was spores and plant matter and etc. But why not honey?
Sure.
Why the fuck not?
Yeah.
And it worked. And the bees had already become a thing, and I liked the direction of it.
Yeah.
And then when it came down to it, you know, on the other side of it
You
all,
have made the honey thing work.
oh yeah. I know. That's what I'm saying. The honey thing has become like this creepy aspect of everything, and everyone's like, "What kind of honey is that?" You know, and it's become a thing, and I like that. I think that's really great. People got to recognize that I ain't just bitching here because I'm bitching and complaining. Oh fuck, no, this is legit. You know, there's good injections that are based in the story, based in the game, in the circumstances of the game, and aren't looking to stick a personal brand in. They're not looking to address a particular context that came and went. Injections that get in are injections that I can work with, that are open-ended enough, that aren't coming from salty people trying to stick their visage into the game. You know what I mean? They're not coming from a place of ego. They're coming from a place of true creativity.
Right.
And that's the thing that you want. So like that tiger, that was great. It fell flat because I didn't care anymore. And I am not ashamed of that. After dealing with everything I've dealt with all of last week, and then what the people are putting up on the board, it is what it is. You know, I'm only human. I can only take so much. And frankly, if people can't understand that, then who the fuck am I and who the fuck are they? Right? I'm a person. I'm not some celebrity. I'm not trying to be a Hollywood star. I'm trying to be a fucking real person.
Trying to be a DM.
Yeah, who is doing what he loves, and that is dungeon mastering a game. I allow people the opportunity to get involved. How people choose to take advantage of that is up to them. But I am not going to turn this into a per pay. That was actually
I've
something.
always looked at the injections as it should be an outside creativity for you.
Yeah.
You know
An
what I mean?
outside influence that I allow based on the idea of whether or not things work.
I'm telling you, if I was a viewer, you would be loving my injections.
Oh, sure.
I'd be putting good injections in, things that you'd be like, oh yeah, that'd be fucking sweet. And that'll fit perfectly in here. And it's totally how I'd be doing it.
I think it's a lot of ego, though. You gotta be careful about that, because you never know the context that we'd see, and you never know how you would get interpreted as a viewer. Right? That's the other side of it.
That is true. That is true.
That's something that I face with.
But like I said, I would be trying to help your creativity. Is what I would be doing. Like if I was watching, like I said,
I like to think that a lot of times these guys are doing
based on
just
what
that.
you're doing already.
I like to think that a lot of times these guys are just doing that. They're trying to accentuate the game, right? But what I'm saying is that people got to stave from putting their ego into it, trying to stick their own brand into it, trying to make it about a current context. They got to look at the whole. Like, where are they? They're dealing with a this right now, right? It's not about what this got said or this circumstance, this minor, this small facet of the whole. You want to address the whole, right? Like this as a whole is what you have as a stage within which to play. I've described, this platform, statues, basin. You could have had the statues come to life. The statues come to life as stone golems, right? I would have looked at the time. I would have said, okay, if I want stone golems, if the viewers want stone golems to come alive, I like that idea. Fucking A, that's cool, right? Or the stone, or the fucking, they do the laser eyes thing. Just put up fucking statues and laser eyes, right? Statues have laser eyes, shooting players, right? Even throw fucking DC in there, I don't give a shit. I'll set a price on it, and then suddenly every round, everyone's dodging fucking statue laser eyes. That's fine.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
But man, like I could call out specific injections, but I don't want to call out any one person. At the end of the day, this isn't what I was getting. I'm getting very specific references to content from ages past that don't fit into the current circumstance.
Yeah.
I'm getting troll injections that ask the players to do things that they ought not. I'm just not able to do that. I'm not able to play ball with that.
I have a Trent. I don't know if you know, it's one of the premiums.
Yeah.
Big motherfucking Trent.
Trent, yeah.
The Trent, whatever you want to call it.
Sure. Tomatoes about it.
You could maybe. I was thinking that maybe you could use it like as some possessed Trent, part of the tree.
The tree story.
Whatever.
We're ending the tree story.
I'm just saying. Maybe I'm just saying that I got the Trent. Maybe you could use it for something along those lines.
I thought about buying it. I just didn't.
I got it for $30.
I would have bought it for $30.
$30 fucking dollars.
$30
from Randall.
Okay, see, $30 I would have.
But that was I had to buy the case.
Yeah.
And get the he tried to charge me $75. I'm like,
for the
no.
tree?
Yeah, I'm like, no. I go, I will order this from what's it called? Fucking Hillside Gaming or whatever it is.
Yeah.
In the States. And I go, I'll pay $530. That'll be the total with shipping everything to my door. I go, I will pay you $530 to avoid me having to wait for it and like I don't, because I told them I don't like it the way they put it at my door.
Yeah.
I go, and that is the reason why I'll do it through you.
I'm not buying it from you because I don't have a choice.
So
that's
even
actually what happened to Al and me. Al and me don't talk anymore. The last time I went in there, I spent $60, paid taxes. He never said anything to me. I never said anything to him.
I know you told me about that. I made sure when I was in there after he gave me my deal and everything that I told him I knew you and that we're friends because I knew that you told me that story. Yeah. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm really good friends with Dooley. First I said, I'm like, you know Dooley, don't you? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, oh yeah, we're really good friends. And
that's awesome.
You could tell he was just like,
yeah. You know what happened there? I tell you about that. I went in
there.
Said
that he's been treating you like you're still 14 years old.
Oh no, I was going and I've been going to his store since I was 14.
Since you're 14, but you said that he still treats you like that. You're that 14-year-old.
No,
you made a comment like that.
Maybe I did. I don't remember saying that specifically. What it is though is that he treats me like he doesn't treat me like he treats the other important customers. You know what I mean? And I don't know what it takes for me to get like a message that says new D&D shit is in, right? He's texted me before, but the thing was, it wasn't even that, actually. It wasn't even that. I went in there and I wanted to get Xanathars. Okay, Xanathars had come in. And I picked up the Xanathars and I'm like, hey, cool. I'm gonna grab Xanathars and I'll grab this board game. And this is gonna be like $160, but whatever, you know, fuck, that's cool. You know, like I'm sporting Al and I'm getting Xanathars. Wait a minute. There was a collector's edition of this book. Oh yeah, I was doing pre-orders and they came through and they're gone now. I was like, wait a minute, you were doing pre-orders? Yeah, we a bunch of people put their names down on them. Oh, okay. Are you gonna be getting more in? Oh, no, I think that was it. Oh. All right.
Jeez, thanks.
Thanks.
And you do spend a lot of money there.
Oh, dude, not now. I mean, $60 on minis is a lot. But I went and put that. I was gonna buy the board game, the book, and 2 packs of miniatures. And I just said, oh, okay. And I went and put the board game back and the book back, and I said I'll just take these 2 miniatures. The rest I can get online. I guess that's $160 I'll be spending elsewhere.
Yeah.
And that was it.
So that, and then so when I go in there.
Yeah, dude. Like straight up. At the end of the day, if I'm not important enough, then I guess I'm just not important enough. Thanks for that. I mean, this is the same guy that. What's going on, Sleth?
Hail to thee.
And hail and good morrow to you, sir.
Hail.
The fact is that he doesn't give any attention whatsoever to pencil and paper, and he gives scads of attention to card games.
I was talking to him about actually playing D&D. I was like, so do you play D&D?
Oh, he used to, or he
does. He still does. He goes, we got a group, and he goes, we don't always necessarily play D&D. He goes, we'll try some other things here and there.
Like he'll talk it up like he does play, but the truth is whatever he is playing, he's just playing randomly with friends now and again. Like they don't have a regular group. Jordan is their regular DM, and he's way too busy now being a dad, and like that's their whole scoop. Like at the end of the day. He used to game a lot more than he does now, and he doesn't really game that much anymore. But my point was that he gives a lot of attention and time and effort to the card games because they just make money hand over fist. Like this is them making money off of card games. There's just no two ways, right? After he's finished making money off of the release, he makes money off of the trades. He makes money off of the sale of rares. He makes just money off of the cards, right? And that's just the way of it. Okay. Why should he support D&D that conversely does not have that sort of market, does not have that kind of money to be made in it? There's no margins like that. There's no market for used miniatures, as Wizards would have you believe. Like, I don't look at miniatures and say, oh, you know what? This fucking little tiny figurine has a fucking star on the bottom, so I'm gonna sell $15 for that. I'm totally like, fuck no, I'm not okay with that. I fucking make toys, for fuck's sakes. I stick them in the fucking sand. After the first year of service, a heavily used miniature is a fucking lump of plastic because the sand has ground it down. Like, fucking get your head out of your ass. People at Wizards need to understand. Like, that's why we have one in fucking paintable miniatures for cheap. Yep. Because I don't want to fucking have to worry about, like, it's not Magic the fucking Gathering. You know, and at the end of the day, I treat with my shit like toys. These are fucking toys. Fuck, get off my dick with your fucking $15 collector's toys.
The fact is, though, is they're still worth it.
You know what?
Like even with my figurines, I don't treat them like they're I got like a $50 piece. I have one.
Right.
I use them like
no, I have $50 pieces.
And I got like when I'm done D&D, I have a little bucket of that I put all the figurines into. When I'm done the round, like when we're done the night. And I bring them into my room. And
so this right here, this is a $60 piece. This is the wagon, okay? And it comes with a whole bunch of miniatures. Okay? It's very cool. You want to see something? This is a $50 piece. This is a $50 piece where it came fucking busted. Okay? It came fucked up. See that? That roof right there? That roof is fucked up right off the bat.
You should have returned it.
Oh, well, you know, there's only one because it's a collector's unit. So I return the product, and he'll get a replacement never. he'll never get a fucking replacement for that miniature because that's a special miniature you get when you get a fucking brick of minis as a store. Or a carton of bricks. So it's 8 bricks, okay? That's like a $2,000 value of miniatures, $2,000 in miniatures, and it's I want to say like, what's the math on that? 32 times 8 is 256? No. Am I retarded? It's 128. 128. So it's 128 miniatures for 100.
Well, I pay 530 for that.
There you go. So in any event,
but that's a super deal.
This is a collector's edition or whatever. Okay. Soon after I bought this $50 lump of fucking plastic with a bunch of color. Okay, you can fucking buy this for your kids, and it would be $20.
Right.
Okay. What the fuck? Okay.
Now, hold on. I paid $30 for that set.
Okay, so never mind the fact that it's a lump of plastic. Kids get this sort of shit for a fraction of the cost. Okay, this fucking busted off. Right?
Yeah. The wheel looks like it busted off.
It did. I put it back on with a magnet.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So now it actually rolls. Which it could fucking do for $50 goddamn dollars! Unless you're Wizards of the fucking Coast, in which case it's $10 for the production, $10 for the packaging, $30 for hookers and blow.
Right.
Like, I don't know what the fuck, man. It's driving me nuts. The miniature situation continues to drive me nuts on the fact that they cost as much as they do. And you know what? I'm not gonna decry their unpainted line. Their unpainted line is fantastic. Okay, their unpainted line is fantastic. But whatever's going on, that a dollar store can have whatever toys. I can buy a bag of zombies. Okay, I can buy a bag of zombies. 100 zombies, $13.
Yeah. Well, what you have to look at here, and this is what a lot of people do, is you're working full time. How much do you? Let's just say you make $25 an hour. Let's just throwing out this number. Now, if it takes you an hour to paint that figurine costs you what it cost you and $25.
Yeah.
One figurine.
Yeah.
So that's what a lot of people do look at, is the time that you have to spend painting it. Now, if you want to get into it and it's your love to paint these things,
that's fine. Yeah, that's
your style.
That's fine.
But if it's not your love to paint these things, it is 10 times more beneficial for you to buy them from the boxes.
In my case, I enjoy painting them.
Yeah.
I don't have the time to paint
them. I used to enjoy painting them, and I just can't be bothered anymore.
Yeah,
it got to the point where I was like, okay, enough of this.
That's what
I used to have a huge collection of pewter ones, huge collection.
Mm-hmm.
And after it got to the point where I was buying them still, and I wasn't painting them.
Yeah, and that's where I'm at.
And you know what I mean? And I was buying, and then those ones never really get used. They never really got used. And then when I started buying the plastic ones, they just always get used. And so the way I look at it is, and time and spending. Like, I wasn't painting a figurine in 1 hour. I was painting some of the figurines could take 4 or 5 hours.
No, exactly. Oh, don't even.
So for you can, instead of painting your figurine, you could be spending it doing extra work at home. And making an extra $125 fucking dollars.
You know, if I was streaming
and then go to the store and buy fucking a brick.
If I was streaming the painting and seeing like 5,000 viewers watching me fucking paint things, sure, totally worth it that way, monetarily speaking. At the end of the day, it's a hobby. I see it as a hobby. When I'm old and have time, I'll fucking paint them. I'm not worried about it right now.
That's what I'm worried about right now. That was my example, though, of why the figurines are what it is. Because, there's a lot of people that just, for your time of painting it, it's not a hobby for you. It's just, they're painted.
See, as far as I'm concerned, for
$50, and they are worth money.
For $50, this should be a lot better.
I agree.
For $50, I can get a fucking drone that flies around and records footage for me. Okay? For $50, I can get a full tank of gas. For $50, I can get a blowjob. Like, this is not worth $50. The fucking pressed plastic.
You think a hooker would give you a blowjob for that?
No.
No, I don't think
Not even almost. I would have to pay her to do anything with this. Okay? Now, I don't imagine that there would be much of hooker. I'm not going to say that, actually. My imagination doesn't go that far. Point being, though, is there's supposed to be a smokestack. The awning ain't supposed to be fucked like that. And why aren't the wheels able to roll? Why the fuck the wheels can't roll? I don't know. Oh, wait, because it's a cheap piece of plastic, and $10 goes to production.
You know what? I really like to buy the Pathfinder, right? Because the D&D ones are fucking garbage.
No, it's true. I'm not even gonna mince words. I'm like, I rarely buy miniatures. Way better than Wizards of the Coast has ever done miniatures. And Pathfinder doesn't even worry about trying to make things collectible. You know,
Pathfinder and the D&D ones are night and day.
No, they are. In quality, in design, shape, everything. Like, the definition of characters between the two IPs is so vastly apart from one another. But no, at the end of the day, like, this has been a common problem with all of their miniatures. And like you say, Paizo has always done better than Wizards of the Coast for their miniatures. Wizards of the Coast is worried about that almighty dollar. Pathfinder is worried about giving their players something to enjoy.
Yeah, they do good. I love their fucking figurines.
Dude, they just keep adding to their market, and people keep supporting them as a result, you know? And we, honestly, there are days where I consider just fucking going with Pathfinder and saying, fuck all this. Fuck Wizards of the Coast and everything they're doing, you know what? But it's
I use all the Pathfinder figurines in my D&D.
No, I know that. I'm talking about systems support. Systems and support.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Right? Like the Pathfinder rule set is completely open, so you have 1,000,000,001 different tools out there for Pathfinder because it's all free. You can absolutely republish all their work into tools, and no one's going to hold it against you. Please buy their books. You don't have to. Would you like to download them? Here's a link. Like, they're amazing like that. They literally just, here you go, and they count on all the extra sales of all their other stuff to support them, and people do, right? Paizo doesn't worry about making as much money as they can. Wizards of the Coast wants to protect the shit. So it's not even just about making money, it's about defending the purity of the arts, of the IP, of the etc. Right? At the end of the day, it has restricted the amount of permeation that the product has seen, and that's why Pathfinder got to the point that it was. Because Wizards of the Coast thought they knew better, and they weren't listening to their fans. Now they're slowly doing that, but now they've got celebrityhood that can tell the fans how it's supposed to be, right? And so they do, and that's where it's at now. Look at D&D Beyond, say the people on Critical Role. This is so convenient and easy, ha-ha! You know, so it is what it is. People are like, oh, I gotta take this out of that. Well, no, you don't, actually. You can use it, but I'm not right! Right, it's convenience. So, I'm even saying I should go that way. I should go and put it all online, pay a membership fee, and have everything databased. And you know what? The convenience of that cannot be understated. I look forward to having things work that certain way, right? But it does not dissuade from my point that now they have a platform. You know, now they have celebrityhood. Now it's reached a point of permeation in society. Finally, that they can define their own narrative for their IP and their product and how it's taken by the world at large. So you get cases of like, it's no longer about whether or not there are enough miniatures on the market or whether or not they're addressing the needs for miniatures. Now they're doing that, right? Are they doing it as well as they could? No, but who gives a shit? They've met what the fans wanted, right? So the quality of their product will never come into question. The pricing of their product is never going to be an issue because we listen to our fans. If you want the cheap stuff, get the unpainted route. You know, so I mean that's where you're at. They define the narrative now. I'm kind of jumping. I'm saying that. Cool. Where the game goes from here? I'm looking forward to the next session. There's gonna be a lot of writing to do, and I have no idea what to expect of attendance next week. I haven't told Fletcher not to come next week. I'm up in the air about it right now. I'm still up in the air about it. And actually, you know what? No, I should be honest. I want to whittle down the group. I just don't want to find myself left without players. You know what I mean?
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Because like I say, I can run this without viewers. I can't run this without players.
No, I do find that when there's less people here, we are more efficient.
Yeah, we dragged us a little bit last session, but it was quickly addressed by me just literally jumping forward and saying, "Fuck it, we're doing this now. Fuck it, we're doing that now."
Jess was in full blown party mode.
Oh my god. losing my mind with this shit. People need to shut their holes. Okay? And it's both sides of the table. Everyone's guilty of it. Nobody is innocent of it. Save for maybe Fletch and Mitch.
Fletch is pretty good.
Fletch is pretty good, but he'll kick up a conversation if he's prodded. And he has something to say, he'll jump in there. But it actually, no, it dies off pretty quick. He'll make a point. Quiet. And then, quiet down. He's fucking inanimate at times.
Is he alive?
Yeah, straight up. I've had plenty of cases where I looked at the cameras and just, like that. And I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at it. He's just like that. And finally, he does something. He just looks to the side.
This is one of his famous looks.
Yeah. Just staring into the space that is the glowing rectangle.
Because of this angle eye look.
Yeah.
And he's looking at the monitor. That's what he's doing, but it's just this.
I swear he's just zoned right in on himself, and he's just staring at himself. Like, don't move, don't move, don't move. You moved. Don't move. I saw that move. Don't move.
Yes.
So funny.
I like that shit.
I do enjoy him in the game and everything. It's just I want to whittle the game down. I want to make it more engineered. I want to focus the story again. I needed players. He was a good clutch player. He wants to play with a buddy of his. So he wants to play with a buddy of his. I'm down with that. It's just a matter of texting him and getting a new group scheduled. Like in terms of including him in a new one, like getting a new group going. Mm-hmm. But like you said, I want to focus my Friday game and whittle down the number of players back to a more manageable.
How long is Joe taking his sabbatical?
I haven't heard from him at all.
Really?
All he said is the last I really knew is that he's taking a week off.
Okay.
That's all I know. If he's coming back this Friday, I haven't heard anything about it. I don't really care either way. Like, I need to know what he's doing. Mm-hmm. And if it gets to Wednesday and he hasn't texted me to say I'll be there or I'm not coming back, then I'll text him and ask him, are you coming or not? And it's not that I don't enjoy Joe. I appreciate Joe as a player as well. But if he's not having fun, he should shove off. Everybody who is not having fun should not be here. At the end of the day, I don't want people to come here just because. Obligation.
One of the things, not every session is the best.
No.
And those are easily overlooked because it's fun hanging out with everybody here. Mm-hmm. Like there's sessions where I'm.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean? But I don't care because I enjoy the company and the friendship and everything, the socialization. This is a good time here Friday. I look forward to my Friday nights.
As one should.
And even if it goes shitty, that doesn't matter to me.
No, you cracked some jokes, you saw some funny shit, somebody said something funny.
You know what I mean? Got to socialize.
There was stuff that happened. It's a weekly Friday night 5-hour party, right? Like that's what it is, a social gathering. That's why I say, to the viewers, I say, look, I appreciate you being here, but this is a game first for the players. It's not a come fuck with everybody reality show. It's a come and appreciate. Yeah, that's not what it's about, right? It's you get to be involved with it. You're welcome. Thank you for being a part of it. And that's it. There's no limelight. There's no spotlight. There's no turns for the viewers. You inject onto the board. If I get to it, great. If not, I'm sorry. And if it's retarded, it's not going to get addressed because I can't fucking fit it in. Or it breaks the one rule I have. You don't directly affect the players. And that's it.
Yeah.
Like I say, we have our fun. If people aren't having fun, they don't need to be in attendance. I like to think Joe appreciates having having a regular group that he can attend. He said himself that he was doing things just to entertain himself, and that's disturbing because it's like, well, what the fuck am I doing then? Like if if I'm not building something that you're taking value and entertainment in, and you're finding yourself just pissing in the lake in order to get your rocks off, what the fuck are you doing here? And what the fuck am I doing? You know? And that's where suddenly I give him a barrage of questions. Like, well, what's going on? What are you after? What is it you're looking for? You know, if nothing I'm doing currently is providing any value or worth, then what the Nelly? You know? Let's connect. And then, of course, not only do I not connect with this individual, but then I get fucking more or less radio silence. Yes, you're right. We should gather. We should meet. We should talk about this. Not today, though. And apparently not for the next 2 weeks. Okay, whatever. But at the end of the day, if you're not having fun with the social gathering because you choose to be curmudgeonly, and you're not having fun with the story because allegedly everything I do is shit, what are you here for? I know what I'm here for. I know what Paul's here for. I know what Mitch and Celeste and Jess and Curtis are here for. I know they're here for. I know what they're here for because they say what they're here for. You know, and then we work with that. We work with each other. We build stuff together. It's a good time. We enjoy it. That's what the game's for. You know, is living out fantasies. No one wants to fucking spend 5 hours hating life. You know, maybe you take if that's your victory condition as a player is making other players miserable. You need to take a close look at what fucking game you're playing. You know. And that's where I'm, you know.
I will have to say something that you missed, and I didn't really address it, was our timeline with me and Thunder was completely different with everybody else. Like, remember when I was going to get my spells from the compound?
Yeah.
We were on a different timeline than everybody else, so it was nighttime. We went there,
yeah.
And blah 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 blah, and then I left, and then we ran into Fletcher on the road.
That's good, yeah.
And I brought him over to my place, and I showed him some spells I had. And then you said to me, "Okay, it's 10 a.m. Are you guys just sitting here doing spells?" But it was supposed to be in the middle of the night. I was gonna get my rest. I was gonna sleep for the next morning and everything. But you kind of just threw it at me that it was already 10 a.m. I'm like, and I didn't say anything. I should have.
Hold on, back the truck up. Do you realize what you just said is that I said it's suddenly 10 a.m. You guys went home, you were showing him some spells.
I was showing him some spells,
okay.
It probably took like 20 minutes.
Which is fine. That's all you would have to say is like, okay.
I know, and I said I didn't address it, and I should have.
Oh, okay.
It's my error.
Yeah.
Totally my error. I should have said something, and then, you know, and then we ended up into the tree, and I had no spells, and I did say something to you, and once again, me just not getting across what I said to you, I'm like, well, I don't even have spells, I haven't even rested yet. And you're like, well, that's the way it is. And I should have said, I just got confused at how the timeline worked at the time. But as more we were into the tree, I'm like, oh, you know what? It was the middle of the night when I was back at the tower or my place with Fletcher. And I should have said something to you when you said it was 10 a.m.
Yeah, we could have said you had 6 hours of rest between whenever you went back.
But I just, and I didn't. And my error.
To be honest, with all of the back and forth and the timelines of everybody mishmashing and everything, I was getting so exasperated.
Yeah.
That I just wanted to get everybody into the tree so I could honestly end the storyline because it had dragged.
I think even I needed to get spells.
Oh my god, yeah, no, you need to get spells.
So you know what? To be honest, I was so tired at the end of the night from the Krampus fight or whatever that was that I didn't even realize I didn't have a spell book because you said, I guess you were telling us something about our loot. I don't know. That's what everybody keeps telling me, that I left my spell book there.
Yeah, that was,
actually, I don't even remember any of it.
Literally, I said that one of the Ketterog boys had collected a bunch of people's gear and escaped with it.
I didn't catch it.
Okay, and so that's where, and Joe had, over the course of the next session, this is why people were mocking you for it, is because it was over the course of the next session that it was being repeated. And Joe wasn't out and out saying it. Like, he wasn't saying, Paul, you don't have your spell book because. What he was saying is, oh, you have spells now? Or Ivor rips pages and throws them in the fire. He doesn't just, I ship it back, because that wouldn't be his character, right? And I mean, Joe's in a position where he can what's the word I'm looking for? Exemplify how a player
this
is
making a mistake. This is where I don't get the good campaign thing, eh? Like, if this was a good campaign, he'd be like, oh, dude, I have your stuff.
No.
It's not a good campaign.
Dude, doesn't mean he's evil. It just means he's a dick. There's a difference between being a dick.
There's a yeah, I don't know. Good campaign.
No, whoa.
I disagree.
Good campaign, majority good things. Okay,
Yeah.
so most of the people are good. The kingdom is air quotes good. People are watching out for one another.
Well, let me put it this way: it's hard to play a good campaign with a character that isn't being friendly to everybody. It is hard.
True.
You know, it's hard to work with Joe and stuff. And
that's the big thing. It's hard to work with him. It's hard to.
Like I'm always trying to work with him and get him to do stuff. And
it's not virtually impossible to have a back and forth with someone who is so critical of everything, because when you're critical of everything, it breeds the idea that you're infallible, right? If you can see such the flaws in everything, that means that you're flawless, right? That's why you're observing so many flaws, right? But see, that's the thing that you're breeding in other people when you're constantly critical of everything, especially when you do it in such the tone that you're saying other people don't know as well as I how to do things tactically, right? But then the question becomes, what are you trying to achieve? And there's no response because we don't fucking know ourselves, do we? Why the fuck? We have an organization, we have an objective, and we have this thing to deal with. And what we're forgetting is that Dooley said, the city will take care of it. If you guys want, you can jump on a ship, fuck off back to the West Cloudspires, and take care of the original objective of this whole campaign. Or you can sit here and you can see how this plays out. Like, you can literally just chill out and see.
I think I rolled the paper backwards.
Oh, that's funny. But that's the thing, is that it wasn't a requirement that you stay here. Nobody in the city said, please, Ivor, Ketterog, save us. Or, please,
well,
Thunder,
no, but we're gonna.
You're going to, because that's who you are. You're the players. You're the adventurers. You're the stars of the story.
Right.
So you either make that work, or you do something else, and that is try to cause a civil war over a goo baby. You and here's a little bit of a disconnect to consider. Is you you complain about a story element, you complain about the direction of a story, and then you extend it. I got the next one. And then you extend it. You make it drag out. You hate this, and yet you're making it, right? You hate something, yet you're making it more than what it was. You're giving it even more value, more worth. You're expanding on it, but you hate it. But you're buying into it, and you're building on it, but you hate it. Mm-hmm. What the fuck? Let it die. And that was the whole point of, you look into the crib and you see a fucking husk. You look into the crib and you see a baby wilting away. The injection is the baby, is wilting away. The players paid for it, the viewers paid for it. It came in, it caused some shit. It's a good little side plot. We're dealing with the Brightwoods. Baby's going. Baby's going bye-bye. Baby's going bye-bye with the fucking tree. That's it. Right? Don't gotta do nothing. You wanna go cause a civil war? You go cause a civil war. You're gonna be excluded from the coming combat. That's it. It's not fucking complicated. Right? But then we get into the whole field of the complication, which is, we're getting critical about this, and this is stupid over here, and I fucking hate that and the other thing. And it's like, well, what part of this do you like? Oh, none of it. Oh, fuck. Why are you here?
Joe, right?
Yeah, I know. Damn it, Paul! But no, and it's not even just Joe. This is players over the course of the years that I've been doing this. We lost Seb because of the evil campaign. And he showed up, stalwart, had been doing it for 4 years. Almost out of habit, he's just showing up and he's hating it. He doesn't know why he doesn't like it. And then finally he's just like, you know what, this is stupid. And he doesn't show up anymore. And why? Because he doesn't want to do an evil campaign. He didn't want to deal with Joe's bullshit. I'm going to kill this player because I don't like what they're doing. Right? And then arguing with the DM. Well, this wouldn't happen because the world is blah, blah, blah. Oh, the guards show up, eh? Oh, you only fucking are killing everybody around. So yeah, the guards are going to fucking show up and suddenly I'm in an argument. Because, Dooley doesn't know how to fucking tacticalize or whatever the fuck. Like, excuse me? Dude, can we get on with the game? Are we
this
gonna
is
sit
Seb
here?
that was playing when I joined.
Sebastian Rudiashi, and then there was young Seb.
Young Seb is the one I.
Young Seb is the one you've met. Okay, I thought you had met Rudiashi.
No.
The big Seb.
No.
I see him walking around. I mean to pull over and be like, "Yo, we should get back and do a game," you know. And part of me, yeah, like if I lost another player, I'd definitely bring Sebastian back here. You know, if I'm gonna move Fletcher to a new session. I think tell Fletcher let's get a new session going. If Joe quits, I'll just replace him with Sebastian Rudiashi.
I don't think Joe's quitting.
I don't think so either. But if he does come back, he's gonna be different. And he's gonna have to adjust some things. Like this is the thing about spending a long time around people is you change. You know, things change in people, and you either grow together or you grow apart, and that's where relationships get stronger or they get weaker, right? And so, the relationship that Joe and I, or Joe and the group has, it revolves around the game. The game has changed, okay? And so, in the same way that Sebastian left because the game was now evil and violent and vile and he didn't appreciate it, Mike left because the game was running late and he was getting older, right? People change, game changes. Joe may quit because the game is not what he thought it was to be, right? He thought it was going to stay this desolate, war-torn area. And it is still this desolate, war-torn, limited place, but there's been upheavals, and he's having trouble cogitating that or processing that or whatever the fuck the issue is. I don't even fucking know anymore, you know? What I know is that I'm tired of taking criticism for doing my job, right? And that's what I'm doing. And I do look at this as a job. You know what I mean? You have to consider how hard it was for me to run Friday's game. I'd just been fired from my job. I made $30 an hour at that job, working from home. You know what I mean? I did my damnedest at that job, day in, day out, to make it work with my schedule and everything like that. And they fucking fired me. They fucking fired me the way they did, and now I've got to go through the rigmarole of getting paperwork filed and blah, blah, blah. All right. So that is a major upheaval in my life. My life has just changed, okay? And I've still got to do the game. I've still got to run this. Mm-hmm. And on top of this, I've got however much trolling happening between my players and my viewers. And people have whatever expectations of me, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Right? Life doesn't change, life doesn't slow down, life doesn't stop. For me, everything stays when it comes to that. I still have my responsibilities. I take a really large sense of pride in being able to do that, even if it doesn't always work. You know, there are days where I got the passion running high and fuck yeah, the game turns out terrific. Mm-hmm. And then there's times when it's really not. And it's really hard for me to pull through, and things are coming at me from all directions, and I'm trying my best to fucking keep it together, but it's hard, you know? And yeah, it's like, at what point can I step back and say, no, I'm not taking it. I'm not taking it. If other people won't take it, I'm not going to take it. And of late, the ridiculous injections, we get cases like the mimics and the bottle mimics, right? And I try to force that. I try to force it to address it. And I get Curtis saying no. Just flat out no. Fuck that. It's stupid. I'm not doing it. And you know what? Respect where it's due. Fine. But at the other side of it, that's part of this game. And you know what? I get it's stupid, and it'll be gone in a moment.
That was the night that Curtis was
drinking a Chianti on his balcony. And then in the follow-up, now I want to say something. That's what I get for several hours, is sitting up on a balcony drinking a Chianti. And I'm going to call Curtis out on this for a moment. Is that you do that, and then you come to the next session, and okay, so how do you approach this? Oh, we have no plans. Oh, you have no plans. Oh, no, we just role-play sitting in a room with plans. Right? But we have no plans. Oh, we have no drill. Oh, this is what I was going to do. Well, you know, there was this whole window of time where your character could have got the drill that you're talking about now. Oh, it was just 19 now. No, I was planning it out before. Yeah, sure you were. That's why this never came up before. You were drinking a Chianti in a bathrobe. Right? And it's like, this is the sort of thing where, you know, I'm gonna get criticized the way I'm gonna get criticized. But then I'm seeing that happen. And I'm not really saying much. I'm not really giving people too much of a business over it. But this is a very real aspect of our games where I'm getting criticized or called out or blah, 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 blah. But I'm the one writing for 7 fucking people plus my world. Everybody who's in attendance has to write for 1.
No, I hear you,
dude. And I don't want to, the thing is, I don't want to sound like I'm making myself out to be more than I am. Not at all. Like, I'm just doing my job. Like, it's just running the game, right? But it is hard. It does take a lot to do. And really, I mean, if I'm putting as much of myself into it, for the love of God, could other people put a little bit of themselves into what they're doing too? You know, just a little bit. I mean, honestly, calling my texts drunken ramblings is such a spitting in my eye when I'm literally asking you direct fucking questions, not you, but direct questions about a character that you have developed and have a very clear idea of, but nobody else does. And I would like to, as the guy painting the picture around your fucking thumbnail, know what the fuck I'm supposed to connect to it.
I find it hard to get the other player, like Curtis and Mitch. I find it hard to get them to work with me. Like, when I was talking about creating the school, the alliance, I don't give a fuck what you call it. I really don't care. Like, I don't even know what it's going to be.
Yeah.
It won't even be my decision. It'll be a group of wizards and priests and whatever that say, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
But so when I was talking about it the other night, I was like, oh, I want to create the alliance and everything. Curtis was like, oh, I thought you were creating a school. I'm like, well, alliance school. Whatever. Oh, no, they're very specific. And it's just like,
I think he was just giving you a hard time.
I don't know if he was. I didn't know.
Because Curtis isn't like that. Curtis isn't like that. He'll say a thing, maybe, but at the end of the day, he's not going to criticize anybody for doing one thing or the other. Unless it's stupid, right? Unless it's stupid, like, I don't know, you're opening a banana stand? Yeah, why? What do you... Well, there's no bananas here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the most I've seen, I'll just do the whatever. You know, that sort of thing. So... Like, Curtis is not like that, and to be honest, this is another thing that when you lose or gain people, the game changes. When you lose or gain people, the entirety of the dynamic on the table shifts. Last session, we had 5 people. Started out with 4, had 5 people. And everybody was upbeat, working together, and jovial, happy, having fun, you know, and not sweating anything. This happens, fuck it, let's move on. This happens, fuck it, let's move on. It's cool, done, go. Cool, done, perfect. Cool, done, let's go. There was no stupid criticisms flying around. There was no scoff-worthy shit. There was no threats. Everybody got from point A to point B without a single threat on each other. Without talking about how the other person had failed in some fashion. Not a single jeer through the whole night. Yeah. Joe is quite the force. He is. But he's a part of the table that way. That's where his strength comes in. Right? Without the whole, he's just a person. As a whole, he is a force. As part of the whole, he's a force within the whole. Anyway, that babbling aside, the point I'm making here is that the game dynamic shifts, and everybody is a lot more open, a lot less scared to open up to one another. And that's what I liked. That was the best part of it. Was that without somebody being curmudgeonly or a possible threat, without having the cops sitting at the corner of the table. Because that's literally what he plays. He plays the cosplayers cops, effectively. Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah. But not. And I give his organization objectives and blah blah blah. And I love that aspect. He's one of the only players who will build the empire, you know, like build themselves a little empire. I think that's absolutely fantastic. But now I would like to like build it, like detail it, densify it, commit to details about it, and that's the part where everything falls flat. Can't get a commitment. Can't get a commitment to this or that, because the moment you commit, there's a chance to fail. But if you haven't committed, everything's in the air. Everything's open to interpretation, and most importantly, open to criticism. But if you define it, you will have to make choices with it. And if you have to make choices, that means Dooley can fuck you over. And if Dooley can fuck you over, now you failed. Mm-hmm. Right? And the way to keep Dooley from fucking you over is to keep things figment. So that the both of you can argue about it and come to a resolution at that point. Negotiate it later. Right? Yeah. What I'm trying to do is create steps. Right? I'm trying to create steps to climb as well as steps in the music so that I can get this. Right? The high points to the low points. So I can get the jump. I don't give a fuck about arguing with Joe in the middle of a session, or arguing with Curtis in the middle of a session, or about his plans with his drill and shit, right? Or arguing with you about your spells and having them or not having them, or whether you slept or not, right? I want to hear what's going on in those things, right? And okay, fair enough, you didn't address it because it didn't come up, and this is the thing where people got to realize, like, I'm not throwing my ego at people. I'm doing my job. If I'm lacking detail, you get the interpretation I have, because it's my job to interpret information. And if I don't have enough, or if what's going on, Boris? Or if I fail to interpret that information in some fashion because, I don't know, my CPU is fucking running hot, or it's too much alcohol in the CPU. But 1 + 1 = love. But no, that's that's what it is for me. Is I'm trying to interpret this, and shit gets lost in translation, right? And so people get exasperated, people get frustrated. I get the same thing from the viewers, right? Passionate people who want to get injections in, and I don't see them, I don't understand them, or I play them out and they come out wrong, right? That's what I got. Oh, but 140 characters isn't enough to get the detail in. No, 140 details is not enough to get the detail in. 140 characters is enough to get a detail in. It's not about getting details into the game. It's about getting one thing in. Yeah, fuck, it's... Hang on here, I'm gonna fix that camera. There, camera's fixed. Mm-hmm. And we'll do this too while we're at it. Oh, there. Still out of it. Oh, it's great. Anyway, where was I? I was somewhere. I'm right here with you. There's a Paul in there somewhere.
I'm here somewhere. I'm hiding.
Hi, Paulie.
Hi, viewers. Or viewer.
You're a ghost. There's a way to fix this, though. My camera in its script. There we go. Fixed it.
I've noticed that Joe doesn't, like in the 2 campaigns that we've done, he doesn't want to create a relationship with anybody.
No, of course not.
I find that odd. Like I normally, like in all our campaigns that I've ever done, and like everybody always still form, even the evil campaigns, they still form bonds between the characters.
Sure. Yeah.
Work together, create empires.
That's the idea of being part of
Joe doesn't work, like even Wizard in the last one, I tried to get it so that Oberon worked with him. I was even willing to be his lackey to an extent.
Yeah, sure.
But he just wasn't willing to go with it.
It's the oddest thing where that has been a repeat thing. Like, he has always just wanted to be this lone gunman who's doing it all on his own and building up a thing, and then the truth is that he's got this empire that he's slowly building up that he started out with to some degree, but then he built up his own private arm of it, right? Like, he started out as a member of the family, he's a member of the militia, and then he goes off and has Mommy fund him a new organization. His Mommy funds him a new organization, and then and now he's got his little organization and he's growing that, and that's all fine, Like, and that's what he wants to do, and he wants to build up his PMC and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But then again, going back to like getting the details is a virtual impossibility, and that ties into what you're saying, because it's working with another person again, and that's where I'm having that problem, where I'm trying to like get information, get details, get direction, and I can't. And it looks like Buddy was right. He did have his black jacket. Look, and there it is.
Who's that?
This is folks who came over last night.
Oh.
It's worse. It's funny actually. I was like, oh, I don't remember you having that. What's that? I'm gonna grab a sweat myself.
Yeah, I'm fucking cold in here.
Yeah, it was warm. The stupid heater you got and all that. Anyway, where were we? Here's Shubidoo.
Let's say Joe doesn't like to.
He doesn't work with people. Yeah. At the end of the day, he just doesn't work with people for whatever reasons that he might have for, you know.
I even ask characters, like when they're creating their characters, like we have this campaign right now we're going where it's like I said, it's a little overpowered. The level 1 wizards started off with Staffs of Magi.
Okay. Why not?
Killed their masters and everything, or the master, and used a wish to clone the Staff of Magi. You know what I mean? And then they're literally like, it's a good campaign. Yeah. Everything's going smoothly. But I make it clear to them, like right away when they're together, like this is how your friendship was in the past. Like they knew each other as kids, and then they met again as 15, 16, or they were like 18 years old as these level 1 wizards.
Right.
And you know that there is a friendship of some sort already.
And
you know what I mean? And as they continue on to adventure, they continue on that friendship, you know what I mean?
They're going to work together to make sure.
And working together. They have been working together to, you know, and all that crap.
It's your bags right in the way, that's what it is.
But they like the female of the two is constantly steals from the other. He doesn't know.
You'd rather it was on the floor?
I don't know.
Sounds like an exceptionally evil setup.
And then these guys play multiple characters. So, and then when the other characters come into the campaign, I quickly make them form a bond of some sort. You know what I mean? And then in these interactions, and I make them form bonds. I kind of bring it out.
That's kind of what this was supposed to be. Is I was establishing that this city was the bond that tied everybody together.
Yeah, and that's why I'm here.
Well, that's why every character of yours has been here, right? Your first character was killed off in the timeline nearly 2 years ago, right?
My paladin.
Yeah. Orion Fall of the Fall family. For 2 years, the Fall family has been doing whatever they've been doing behind the scenes. Lucretia's not said a word of it to Ivor because Ivor's character doesn't care, right? Whatever. But Lucretia's been dealing with it. And it's come to the point that Ivor is going to get assassination attempts now because the Fall family doesn't take it sitting down. And at the end of the day, they don't want it. They had their first assassination attempt way back when, and then ever since then, they've been dealing with the politics of it.
You really got to bring Oberon.
And
even if he doesn't do anything, he's just a cameo.
He's got to be thousands of years old, though.
No. You said this followed our timeline
that's
when
right.
this started, ended off. So, if anything, it's been 2 years, and we've been dealing with the moat, whatever's going on way out there. We might have abandoned it. We had talks.
That's right. And you know what? Our test is actually, we have established that our test is in here, so that's okay. That's the one that's thousands.
If anything, Nim and Oberon would be traveling together.
That could be.
Because Nim and Oberon were good friends.
Yeah.
And they talked. Near the end there, we were talking about abandoning this fucking.
And that was the biggest problem with that whole campaign was there was no reason for the characters to be together at all. And so in this case, every time someone dies, I'm just going to bring in another family member, right? And so there's always that pedigree, and so there's always that present, there's always that root from which to grow another vine, another leaf, another branch.
So the whole thing was Oberon would be able to do a cameo.
Yeah, Oberon would be able to do a cameo.
Maybe he finds out.
All in due course.
Maybe he finds out that
if I do any sort of cameo,
his nephew,
it's gonna be an unbelievable like it's gotta be in the background first.
You could have it so that Oberon attacks. Oberon's insane. He's a little nuts. He's very, very gun heavy.
I do not want to make any particular cameo an overt
Oberon
presence.
going after Ivor, and the group's having to defend Ivor.
No one's gonna have an overt presence like that.
That'd be sweet.
There's no reason for Oberon to give a fuck about the North Mountains.
That's not about mountains. It's about his family.
What family?
He's a Fall.
Oberon was part of the Fall family?
That's where I came up when I created
right. That's right. I forgot about all of that, actually.
You even made me pull out my character sheet, and you were judging whether I wrote it Fall.
Okay.
You know what? You could go back to my first game feed, and you ask me my character's name and everything, and I guarantee you I say it.
No, I remember this. I don't even have to go back. I literally do remember talking about all this and the hubbub that went on at this corner. Yeah, no, we could, actually.
Oberon's a crazy bastard, right?
With the gun arm? Oh my god.
He probably wouldn't live long. Our group would take him down.
I don't know, dude. Oberon was level 17?
20.
He was 20.
He was 20.
With the gun arm.
With the gun arm.
He was pretty tough,
but he would be a great fight.
That thing was 8d6 or 60.
Well, it did multiple shit.
Dude, that gun was insane, and we just kept adding to it too. Fucking when we bolt on what now? Oh,
I don't know if we ever did the rockets. It'll say if we did the rockets on it. I remember I was talking to you about it.
It was a laser beam weapon that did radiant damage. It had the time gun component put onto it that wiped out that one airship, completely erased it from history. That was a nat 20 to end that.
The gun should be able to do time stop.
Time stop? Just freezes
three rounds, boom, boom. You can't shoot anybody, but you know what I mean. I could do a second wind and move into position, come out of it, put it into chain gun.
So it looks like you're flashing.
Put it into chain gun mode and start mowing everybody.
Oh, yeah. I like the haste that got. Yeah, right. I like the haste that got pulled out last session. That was the thing, is that everything was positive. Do you understand what I mean? Everything was positive.
Do you know where Oberon is?
He's in the mix there.
He should stand out, eh?
But you understand what I'm saying? Is that everything that the players were doing last session could happen without commentary, aside from the positive force of each other lauding one another for having an idea. Like, yeah, do that. That's great. Did you find him? There he is. You just needed an extra set of eyes. They're all high def cams, man, except for the PS3 eyes.
This one?
Yeah, these are high def cams.
So I want to use one of those ones.
1080.
Make it so I can see the. I made this guy out of a monk. I attached the arm to him. The laser cannon. This is his.
The laser cannon is made out of a Warhammer unit, a sniper rifle with a bunch of sequins put over the barrel to give it that ray gun aspect.
You can see the power pack on my back with the big hoses and then wires and everything connected to the.
Yeah, Paul obsessed over that during one session. Came out really well. It's got the Stoke there, piece of.
I even the gun in my other hand. Oh, we could turn it this way. I had to chop my hand off because the gun from the Warhammer had the hand connected to the gun. You can't tell. It looks like I'm wearing a glove. I don't know if you can see it, but I have a cigar in my mouth.
Ever so slightly,
you can kind of see it, but there's my cigar. My guy was classic for always having a cigar. He was a mean motherfucker, man. He didn't take shit from anybody.
Oh yeah, put your hand behind the mini. It'll focus on it. Try that. Oh yeah, that actually works really well.
You can actually see a cigar there.
I wonder if this helps.
No, that worked.
No, that's terrible.
This gun is pretty fucking sick, man. It's got hoses. I have all these hoses and everything on it. And I put onto it.
See all the fucking. It's fucking cool. I don't know if you can see the coil wire, but there's actually a wire there going from the backpack. There's 2 hoses, and then the coiled wire. You can kind of see it.
Yeah, you worked on that thing quite a bit.
There you can see it a little bit there, going to the gun. The backpack is pretty awesome. It's all powered. It's got little lights all over it. I was pretty happy with this guy. He's even got an extra gun there on the side. You can see it. It needs to be painted. Holstered. And the gun in his hand. Yeah, he's pretty happy with this fucking shit. See if we can get that cigar in there. The cigar is a tip of a toothpick with the tip of it burnt. Can't really see it.
I still remember how hesitant you were to chop the mini up too.
Yeah, I even like the big gun arm because Oberon lost his arm in the first day that I played. These guys,
That's great too. Crit fail at the gates.
Yeah, crit fail right out of the bat, right out of the gate.
Yeah, literally.
And then my arm blew off, and then so I had to chop his left arm off at the elbow to put that gun on.
It turned out. Yeah. I can't remember who built it or how you came across it. I can't remember any of that, like how that all developed. The storyline leading up to you having the gun for an arm. I do remember when.
Oh, I remember everything.
I remember when you lost it, and then your daughter brought it back to you.
What?
Your gun arm. You lost your gun arm. Like it was several months later.
Yes, there
you
was.
Lost it out the
That was when I had the moment where I was like with my gun running through the
triple one or double one.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was bad. But yeah, it fell out of the bottom of the airship.
Yeah,
it was
it
lost.
just went by. I was even doing the reach out with my other hand.
Yeah, and it was just gone. And I think it was like a month you were without a gun.
Yeah.
And then the time.
I was using a shotgun at that point.
That's right too. Yeah. I can't remember if we were making hobo with the gun jokes back then, but regardless, it was sometime later though. Yeah, I started bringing the Bale storyline back through, and of course time travel and blah blah blah. Your daughter, and I guess that creates. Oh my God! I just realized that creates a precedent that that the Fall family. The Fall family has members of its family in the Chronomancers. So, like, literally, they have the potential of having time travel magic.
And Oberon has his companion that is a level 19 paladin of Horus, not Horus.
But if it's going on at the same time, Oberon isn't there. Number one, Oberon wouldn't be there. He's in Estegunda.
He could be wherever he wants.
No, like literally, because we're following the storyline. This isn't happening after. This is happening during.
Oh no! I thought the day that we started this campaign was literally the day after we ended our other campaign.
I'm not sure if that's.
I'm pretty sure that's what the deal was. Pretty sure that you immediately stated that right off the bat.
I don't remember saying anything so specific. I do
remember. I don't
remember anything so specific, but maybe I did. I thought it was happening at the same time.
You mean like the day we started this campaign was the same day that the other campaign started?
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty very well.
With that all said, though,
so that campaign only went on for a couple months.
Yeah, it didn't really last too long.
So it's been 2 years now.
But dude, I mean, who's to say that Oberon would be back in the Cloudspires anytime soon? He can still very well be down at the lower end
who knows? It's up to
Faerun, right? I mean, eventually I would like to do that, though.
I'd like to see Oberon come in, though. Everybody always likes to see a past character come do, even if it's just a cameo. That's my character.
The thing of it is, and this goes back to what Joe was saying with checking his ego, is that if I bring an assassination attempt around on Ivor, Joe thinks I'm just trying to kill him.
Yeah.
And it's like,
but not if Joe sees his whole group rally behind him to help defend him.
Oh, he'll make snide remarks and won't appreciate it. Maybe he will. I don't know. Like, but there will be snide remarks, and nobody will know what. Like, that's just Joe, is what everyone will say. But no one knows what Joe is gonna do. No one knows. So no one can build anything on it. Again, nobody can build anything on injection.
Are we allowed to do injections?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna do an injection. Oberon comes back to kill Ivor group. Hopefully rallies to help save Ivor.
Leave the last part out. You only have 140 characters. And then I will put a price tag.
I will tighten it.
I will put a price tag of $5 million on that.
Echo.
You know what? We're gonna do this. This is this one. We're gonna do this. Like that.
No more echo.
Let me know if that fixes it. Otherwise, I'm going to also do this. The right one. Okay, that was the wrong one to turn off. So 1 sec. Turn that one off. That one on. All right.
Testes, my balls.
So there we go.
2 testes.
And boom, golden. Yeah, maybe I should start restarting my audio in the middle of the stream too.
Am I allowed to do things like there's stuff I want to do. I want to, and it takes up a lot of group time. Like you were saying, just text it to you or whatever, email it to you. Like I want to go around and look at real estate here.
Yeah, sure.
And just do all that, but I don't want to take up the group time and role play and all.
This
real
is
estate. So I wanted to look at real estate. I wanted to go. I guess I need to talk to. I want to get a group of people together here and actually discuss what I have planned.
What you want to do with the group is what you want to do with the group. What you want to do with the world that doesn't need the group, you can text to me, and it becomes part of the game, so I can just work it in, and it will happen during group, or it'll happen in like a quick piece of exposition at the beginning of group. Or better still, it opens up and you're shaking hands with a realtor or something like that. I don't know, whatever, right? A land merchant, and
so I can tell you what it is, the stuff I want to do right now, and just text it to you as I'm telling you.
Hmm. That's the idea, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, all it'll be for me is that you climb back into Lucretia's carriage, and as she gives a rap on the roof, and the driver hits the horses to start the carriage, she looks at you and says, "Satisfied?" And the camera pans out as Mactillion giggles like a schoolboy, which then turns into, I don't know, does it turn into a cacophonous laugh that echoes out? Anyway, so the camera would pull away and you'd be shown the carriage rolling along in Cloudfire.
I want to.
I gotta re-edit the intro and put a paper bag over Curtis.
So obviously, are we out of the tree? I'm forgetting where we ended off. We got out of the tree, didn't we?
Yeah. You guys teleported out of the tree to the Cloudspires.
Yeah. And we're in.
To the church. To the church.
The Ogma church, right?
Yeah. He was. Remember, he was drawing sigils for the teleportation circle. And all the dicks come together.
That's good stuff.
That's a fucking injection. Okay, that's how the players do injections, by making awesome comments.
Was that an injection?
No, that was Mitch being like I was going with the dicks, and then Curtis is like, "Oh, it's got 3 testicles." I was like, "Oh, okay, right, the 3 testicle dicks of teleportation." And then Mitch is like, "That's right,
mutant testicle."
That's
the conjoined testicle.
Whatever. What is it when it's in the center of your the mind's eye that you have? I can't remember the anointment. What's called? There's a name for it. There's a term for it. Anyway, that's what that is. That 3rd testicle. But then Mitch is like, when the ritual is complete, all the dicks come to the center and touch, and that's where the teleport opens up. That's where the portal opens up. Oh man.
But yeah, so the stuff, like, obviously, I'm not going to be doing it at this point here. We're discussing what we're going to be doing next. I don't know if we're going back into the tree immediately, or I'm going to go get a fucking rest so I can do spells.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell them that I need to, before we go back in, that it would be beneficial, but I will still do whatever they want to do. If they want me to go in with cantrips, I'll go in with cantrips. whatever's needed.
Oh no, you guys are done for now. Like Mactillion can just go anywhere he wants. The thing is like Mactillion took it upon himself to be part of that crew.
Yeah.
And his people would, like the people around you, whatever Jessica would say. Jessica's, I mean, shit, Alonvi is going to be regaled to the chronicling chambers for the next however long to help index everything and organize things.
But we still got to stop this, whatever the tree is.
The tree
we got to go back in.
The tree's more or less stopped for
No,
now.
but we got to go. Well, I thought we had to go back in and close that gate. That's what we were discussing. So we still need to do that. We need to go back into the tree and close that gate, as far as I'm concerned.
You're talking about where the altar was?
You remember how we were at this thing here and there was all the runes around it, and I figured that this went into an extra dimensional place, like we weren't in...
I see. Right, the doorway, right, that's the gate you mean. Okay, because the altar was a gate. It was!
My guy wants to preserve this tree. It's there, right? It is nature. If we can close whatever evil is...
What's going on, Sarah?
Whatever evil is...
No, it's not. We're live. We're live, sweetie. It's all good. Anyway, what was I saying? No, we're very live. It's okay. What was it though? The tree. Like if Mactillion wants to, I'm just gonna go out there. Mactillion, over the course of like the next day, is gonna see and hear about the baby and blah blah blah, and see. Oh, that's just rude. Come on now, you're not. Terrible. Where was I? Is the baby being. The baby being a mark of the witherment that everything faces with the death of the tree, it stands to reason that the tree will slowly decrepify. And my concept being that over the course of, it's all good. Over the course of the next day or two, this tree will literally just blow away in the breeze. No, it'll. What I want to do is have it slowly turn into just spores, and then the countryside that it lands on, not spores, sorry, but seeds, not spores, seeds, and it just dots the countryside, and there's just this carpet of trees afterwards, just to get meta and tell you where it's gonna go. That's the whole concept, is that over the next 2 days.
So I still think we need to go close that though.
Yeah, if Mactillion wants to close it, that will be something that he can totally bring up to the church, and then they would put in a.
That'll be us all role playing at the beginning of the session.
Okay, so that would be the direction to start out with there.
Yeah. But so, when I'm done here, obviously, when we're done doing that, I'm just sure that closes the chapter of it. I'll end up going home, and once again, this will be all role-played in the D&D, but so we'll get our sleep, and then after I'm done my sleep and got my spells, my goal will be to start going to look at the real estate here. Now, at first, I won't realize that the tree is going to in the wind, and that'll be oh fuck.
No, there's just gonna be the montage of you doing the closing.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna montage.
So that is one of the things I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be going around looking. I want to look for a place to start.
I mean, at the end of the day, you
a headquarters, whatever you want to call it. I don't know if it's a headquarters or a school.
A base. You want a base.
A base.
Yeah, I get it.
A base where wizards and druids and
same
paladins
as what Joe's
anybody.
Doing. Curtis has one in the church. The church is his base.
Yeah.
So that's kind of his thing.
Well, Curtis says he told me he was into this.
Oh, he is.
Yes.
He is thoroughly a builder.
And definitely my idea will be to form some kind of hierarchy in it, and it will definitely be a democratic.
You figure that all out when the time comes. That's not even.
Well, this is the stuff that I'm telling you that I'm planning.
Well, I
this
appreciate
is the stuff
that.
that I'll be doing outside of the game, right?
What I intend to do, God willing, if I have the time here, is retool the Dungeon Master website so that players can populate private information, and then what we can do is we can publicize that to verified accounts for patrons, subscribers, followers, etc.
Right.
Excuse me. Maybe not followers, but subscribers and patrons, and the reason for that is just so that you don't get other players coming in and following the channel, and then I'm gonna see what other person has. If they're a subscriber and a player's paying for it, that'd be crazy. But anyway, where was I in all this?
I'm talking about
I want
the real estate.
Yeah, and I'm saying that what you're talking about in terms of the details that you want to define, you know, I appreciate that because that's literally what we were just talking about that I'm lacking in Joe. And what I'm getting back there is a bunch of, you know, just snide remarks and whatnot. What I want to do is get it on record when the time comes in a fashion where we have that record. Now, it's not about the money. It's about, again, verifying that it's not a player. You know, at the end of the day, I just want some method of preventing prying eyes to getting to private information. But I want to allow supporters the ability to read the information that the players publish. I think that's an important thing.
So yeah, that is.
So what I was going to say, yeah, real estate wise, you don't even need to do shit. Because Lucretia would already have a place.
Okay, so then that is what I do with dealing with her.
So I mean, it's up to me to really just decide what you're getting out of the deal. And what were you doing for her? I can't remember what she. Oh yeah, you were coming along for the advisement. Okay, no, I remember my motivation on this too. I remember because Lucretia's got a motivation, right? In any event, so. You got a place that is just behind the ship roosts. So you're at the north end of the city. This place used to be a shunt office. That is to say, a place where the Ketterogs would keep packages while they awaited reshipment. That is to say, if they were being exported, they would be kept there. If they were like higher security, so the place has no use to her for some reason she didn't specify, but it's got some nice security to it. So it's got steel doors and steel frames, stone walls about a foot thick, bars on the windows, all except one at the top floor, where the bars are on a hinge. So you can lift them up. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. All the windows have that. All the windows have hinged bars that you lower down and lock into place, and there's just bars in the windows.
Okay. So it can be opened up.
Yeah, you can lift the bars out if you want. And then of course it's a warehouse. It's a small warehouse. This thing will be. So 200 foot footprint. 200 foot squared footprint. 200 feet? No, that's a lot. That's a lot.
No.
That's a fuck.
4,000 square feet.
Yeah, that's a lot for a small layover office.
Well, not a layover. Like we're hoping that this place will get a lot of wizards and druids and everybody coming here and you know and my idea is
4,000 square feet.
Like I want to build like a library in it.
Yeah.
So like I'm gonna be like it's right now it's just a big square warehouse. When you walk inside, it's gonna have rooms. Is it high? Like is the roof's 30 feet high like a warehouse? So I can create a second level.
Yeah, let's make it about 2,000 square feet. So 100 foot square.
I'll just put 2,000 square feet.
There we go. So 2,000 square feet, and it's got a basement area. So it's got a basement area underneath, and yeah, it's gonna be 2,000 square feet, and it's gonna be 2 floors. So 2 floors and a basement.
Okay.
And it's literally just a box, and it has a warehouse door on it, as well as a man door, 2 man doors, and a warehouse door. Man door at the back.
What's a man door?
Man door.
Man door, and then the warehouse door, big doors.
Yeah.
So it basically has big doors on each end?
One set of big doors. So it has one double wide, double high warehouse door on the front.
And then on the rear?
On the rear it has a man door. And that man door leads to, we can say like a hall, and then off that hall is a bivvy area that also connects to the bivvy upstairs. So people can shit on each other with great ease. Point being though, so foot thick on the walls. Yeah, ceiling wise. So your first warehouse ceiling is it's going to be a 30-foot high ceiling. 30-foot high ceiling. And when she shows it to you, it's got stacks of old boxes, broken pallets and shit around. You can see some odd stains. There's a smell of acrid. We'll say there's like a sweet sour smell floating around, a chemical sweet and sour, if you will. And the place is dirty. Like it's old, it's unused.
Yep.
When
the guards are like,
when my guy's looking at it, I don't see it for what it is.
No, exactly. And it's just this total mess. But as you're walking through it and looking around, you can see potential in all these corners. And there's a broken stairwell that you can see. It's like the top must have just rotted from moisture or something. You can see a bit of snow dripping. There's a hole in the ceiling. Like it's pretty disheveled. I just want to say it's not been upkept. She's like, we haven't needed it in years. The dwarves came through and damaged it as it were, and we haven't bothered to fix it.
Yeah, like us.
So
wouldn't be a problem for the masons.
Done. So that's what you've got. I guess I've just set a precedent there. If you can see, I said it was a box. We'll say that it's kind of a like thick L. So basically, it's gonna be like this.
I've drawn it. I got the drawing that was going on here.
Okay, no, I'm just saying, like the profile of it. Okay, the profile of it. You got this 30-foot right here, right? There's 30 feet, and then you've got your second story like this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's what I'm getting at there. And then, of course, you got your basement. And we'll make the basement more or less the full footprint. That's fine. And then if you want, because this is 30 feet, there could be a mezzanine here. All right? So there's a mezzanine there.
What's a mezzanine?
A mezzanine balcony. An internal balcony. And so there's some support structure here. And so basically you could have your broken stairwell is here, right? And it's just like some smashed stairs there. And you've got like a leak right here,
okay.
Right? And it's just like...
Yeah.
Your doors are fine. The man door behind here...
Oh, the door's going to get replaced. Or at least work done to them.
The man door at the back leads into a yard.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's a double wide man door.
A yard? Is it fenced in and everything?
It was.
Is it all falling apart?
It's mostly natural wall.
Yeah.
From the cliffside.
Yeah.
And there's like where a fence was against where the cliff starts.
Well, I picture it with everything gone and a garden growing here. Tree.
Sarah's like, you should plant a giant tree in the middle of it.
I will. I will for you, Sarah.
And I'll name it Sarah.
And I'll name it Sarah.
Oh, shit. So, there you go. There's your warehouse.
Ask her if she's willing also to foot the bill of repairs.
She looks around the chamber and says, my dear Maxillian.
I tell her that in the end, if she wants, I'll pay for it.
I will foot the bill on the entire dream that you have, but there is a condition to my generosity, my dear Maxillian. And as she pans across and then focuses on you and closes the distance, she says, I will have things that need doing, projects that need studying. I will have need of people who can answer questions for me, and I will expect results.
Of course.
Very good then. And she gives you a pat on the cheek. Consider everything paid for. And she just walks out at that.
I check out her ass as she's walking away.
It is tight like a tiger.
Boy.
And as she leaves, the guards behind look at you as they are looking at you, and then they salute Lucretia as she walks by. The one opens the carriage. Are you staying, or are you coming back with me, Mactillion?
I tell her I'm going to stay here. Thanks.
Driver? You watch as the driver kicks up the horse and, with a clop of the hooves, fucks off.
Yeah, I definitely will embrace this place.
You stand in the center of it, the camera pans around in a circle. A bit of snow falls down on your shoulder. Poof. You look up. Poof. And then it cuts to black.
This is not bird shit.
So there you go.
That happened to me when I was a kid. I was at the zoo. I looked up. I didn't know what it was at first. I thought somebody spit in my eye. I looked up as we were leaving, and just right in my eye. And at first I was like, what? And I was like 12 years old, 13 years old. I'm like, somebody just spit in my eye, and I'm looking at this nobody.
Oh my God, Paul! They're watching us! Mom, you're weird. What are you watching?
She's weird.
Oh shit, that's awesome. Oh man.
You should
I'm sorry?
You should turn Discord on so she can chat.
Oh, to be honest?
Is that too hard?
I could. Oh, just getting. Oh, God. Crazy nausea all of a sudden.
Oh, do you not want this?
Oh, not at the moment. Too much smoke.
Open the garage door.
No, it's not like that. Like, I've had too much smoke.
Oh.
And I haven't had any food yet.
Oh.
Like, it's one of those cases where you get. We got a bunch of pizza last night, and I didn't go to the gym today because we had the company stay over, and I had a bunch of pizza last night. Like, it just fucking gorged. And of course, this morning we had the leftover pizza, but I didn't have any. We let the kids have it because we had 3 kids that were hungry, so they had all the leftover pizza, and that's cool. But now I'm going from however fat that I was. I'm like, oh, grumble, 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 so much empty space. So I'm like super intensely nauseous, and then it's going to slowly subside. Slowly subside. Oh, eventually it'll subside. And yeah, no, I can throw the Discord out. Sorry. But yeah, so getting back to what I was saying with the injections and all that sort of jazz, it's just such a situation where I don't want to create too much expectation. That is to say, I don't want to be throwing. I don't want to be restricting stifling people's creativity. I don't want to be stifling people's creativity by putting rules down, right? Or bitching about shit, or kiboshing people's ideas constantly. But I do want to set the precedent and create the narrative that that he will toss your shit if it's not in line with the story, if it's out of the story.
Yeah, I'd like it if the injections would be storyline based.
They have to be. Like, that's the point of them. They can. Sorry, they don't have to be storyline based. Sorry, that's
fit in the story.
Fit in the circumstances, not the context. Yeah. Right. You look at the whole. You get it into the portrait. You're not trying to create your own picture. Your piece of color has to fit into the grand whole. It has to fit as part of the mosaic. And she is on. I mean, you're live, Sarah. Just so you know, you are live, or you should be anyway. I mean, I don't know. Regardless, it looks like she's talking, but she's not muted. I don't know. You know, maybe.
Oops, I muted myself with my own mic, sorry.
Okay, there you are. See, I don't know that they were getting revenge or not. I know that the injections I had, I couldn't do anything with. I know that the injections we were getting were just not the sort of injections that I'm going to entertain anymore. I have the ability to veto stuff, and I've vetoed stuff in the past. And last Friday, it was a barrage of stuff that I had to veto. And ultimately, like, anybody who's butthurt about that, I'm not going to make any apology towards. And I don't know that anybody was or wasn't, but I'm not gonna take it. No, we ain't gonna take it. We're not gonna take it anymore.
Da-na-na-na-na-na.
And And drama aside, all it is that, you know, I love the injections. I want all the injections we can get, and that's why I was saying, you know, we had a volcano of fish. We had a baby come out of the goo. We had all sorts of fucking crazy shit that people are shoving into the game, and I'm all for it, right? But there are going to be things that I twist. There are going to be facets that I turn on their ear, turn into something that I like, turn into something that I think the player will like. And yeah, I spring something like, oh, by the way, you have bees gestating in your body. How do you feel about that, right? And at first you're like, oh, this is fucking stupid. But then it's like, hey, this is kind of neat. You know, why? I don't know, it's stupid, but it's neat. Whatever.
Yeah.
Like, away you go. You can work with it.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
So that's what I appreciate about you taking it on. I appreciate the injection ultimately for being a neat opportunity. Yeah, exactly. 1 million points well spent, and it's certainly 100,000 times better than bee sex.
I'm still gonna finger bang that queen bee.
No, that's fine. I mean, you guys are mentally doing the thing, and in the end, the injection is very, very fulfilled. As is the bee queen.
The bee should be fulfilled with my pinky.
That's what I'm saying. She's very, very fulfilled. Point is that injection.
I'll make her eat. I'll make her eat the mushroom.
Oh God! Oh my God! All right, there you go. And the pie. So I gotta clip that. The crude pie clown was good. The end of the day, they wanted be loved, and they fucking got it, and then some. But what I did was I established some major context for a 1 million point injection. I fucking made it work.
You should make it so that bee can turn into a female human.
No.
I'll do her then.
Oh my God. You know what?
Oh, what do we got here?
That would be the fucking funniest shit. If, you know...
Let's just close the door here.
You get a wish, and it's like, what do you wish for? What would an Actelian wish for? Suddenly, right? A full-size Tinkerbell.
Full-size Tinkerbell.
Watch out for my stinger. Just bend it to the side. Oh, I like the way you do that. Oh, man. That's the real kink. Bending the proboscis. Oh, man.
We're fucked.
Oh.
We are fucked.
I like the 1 million point injection because it was epic. It brought everybody together. Like, everybody was working together. Everybody was dumping into it. And when you look up at the list and you see all those fucking names on there, that was cool. That was very cool. It was an epic moment. You know, I don't actually remember setting the price at 1 million. I thought that happened on its own. I thought it reached that point on its own. I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
No. Johnny reminded me that it was me who set the price on that, and there was another injection from Varneske that I set for 500K, allegedly. I can't remember if that one got hit too. If that one got hit, then that explains why everyone's fucking broke. Because the funniest part is that 1 million points. Like Fizzy was in the chat. Fizzy has 50 million points. What the shit, man? Just done. You know what I mean? But she did. And you know what it is? It's a restraint that I got a lot of respect for. Like, honestly, as the guy who watches it play out, and somebody has 50 million points, and here's an injection that you can just, but doesn't? So that's something. But she spent 50K on it. 50K out of however many people. She's like, sure, Johnny, I'll entertain this, but, you know, it's a fool's investment. But it wasn't, right? But that's I don't mean to, like, put words in her mouth, but point being is that... That literally was me putting words in her mouth, but I'm just saying, like, that's not my goal here. That's my interpretation of it. You know, it's like,
when I said you are, I meant your. I meant, like, I was going to say your interpretation.
Yeah, it's my interpretation.
You are.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Either way, right? Either way, the point I'm making is, and I mean, yeah, ultimately, like, I'm giving this as much lip service here because I've been banding with emails here, and there's a lot to be said about it. But all it comes down to is I know I've addressed all sorts of crazy injections, and I know I will continue to address crazy injections, and I know viewers don't like having injections tossed. Some people may feel slighted, hurt, rejected. But if it's something I'm not going to work with, I'm not going to work with it. I have a very simple set of rules. I have one rule. Doesn't affect the players directly, right? And
maybe I want to lean forward. It's part of my workout. Do one sit-up every fucking 30 seconds. Working these abs, man. You don't get washboard abs like this not sitting forward.
Oh, what's going on, Fletch? It was a good session. I like having a reduced party. I don't know if Joe's gonna stay or go.
Yeah, Joe wasn't here.
And did you get a hold of Alex so that you can start doing Sundays? I haven't heard from you guys. So there's that. So I'm moving you to Sundays, and we're getting you set up for a Sunday game with your buddy Alex. I'm expecting. Then I'm gonna reduce Friday to 5 people ultimately. I think. I honestly don't expect Joe to return. I don't know if he will or won't. I haven't heard anything from him.
I think so. I think he just
maybe
took a week
maybe.
off.
But here's the other side of it. Let's say he does come back, and then after a couple sessions he leaves again. Let's say he comes back and he really doesn't give a shit.
Just needed a break. People need breaks sometimes.
Okay, fine.
Sometimes.
All right.
Just needed a break there.
Sure. No, for sure. Mike took a break for 6 months.
It happens. It happens.
Everywhere's in walking distance if you got
You
the
know
time.
what I really respect about this D&D game is that in the past I've had dungeon masters who hated my characters, and so they would constantly try to get me to change them, but you're just allowing them to be who they are, and I think that's awesome.
I work with the players. That's the goal of it. Is a democratic story. I don't want to define what a character is, but I absolutely...
You want us to define our
Yeah, I fucking absolutely want you to define it. I'm fucking begging and pleading sometimes and pulling it out of people with a fucking pair of pliers. Give me your fucking bats! Yeah! The only time I will absolutely change things, and this is still a back and forth, right, and you've experienced this a couple times, is I do the back and forth to get you fit into the world in a way that you can like, that you can appreciate, that you can work with. But I will say also, to that regard, I have thrown upon Paul the whole mutation of the bees and blah, 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 blah. So there's that side of it too, where I'm just like, oh, by the way.
Like I said, I'm dealing with
We're not playing today, Fletch.
I'm working with them.
I'm saying I'd like you to go from the Friday game to a Sunday
That was our
game
bad.
between Alex and the 2 other guys, maybe the 1 other guy that I have. So it'd be you, Alex, and another fellow on Sundays. And then that way you don't have to come in when you're exhausted on Fridays, and you can do whatever it is that you want to do there. And I hope you're feeling better, actually, because he was away for days. So I'm focusing down my Friday game. Please don't look at it like I'm kicking you out or something like that, because that's not the goal here. I like playing with you, and I'd like to, as I said, start up the Sunday game because you do have a friend who is also interested. And I've been finding other people who also can play on Sundays. So it's an opportunity, and I would like to develop that. So,
yeah, I like it.
Literally, that's it. And who's to say, if it flags, Paul may join back into it. Not to say that he's considering it or put words out for him, but in the past, it's happened, so I don't know what the future will hold. Not that I'm hoping on anything or trying to hint at anything. I'm just saying, like, that's how.
It does. It does.
The thing about the bee thing too is that, as I said, everything happened, right? You went with it. The injection is fulfilled. Now the other side of it is what to do about it.
I'm gonna start a honey business. I get the bees to go out, collect pollen, and it's an income.
A honey business. Okay then. No, I'm down with that. You know why I'm down with that? Because, yes, that's working with it to the nth degree. That's where you take it and it becomes your fucking injection. That's where you take that injection and you grab it by the fucking horns and you start riding that motherfucker.
You can get fucking lemons.
Man, okay. You gonna start it in your warehouse? There's like,
oh no, I'll do it somewhere.
You know what? Fuck it. There's a montage of you like, and then all these bees are like cleaning the place up and polishing it down and shit.
You know, the rags and shit.
Buzzing while you work.
Little bee songs going.
Fucking Disney Princess Maxillian, hair flowing, robes aflutter.
You should put on the intro video. I wanna see me wearing this scarf. I still haven't paid attention to it.
You want to see the intro?
Yeah.
Alright. I'm always up to see the intro. I gotta open up this right here.
Looks like Sarah's gonna be my co-manager.
She's gonna be telling you how to run an apiary. You're gonna be like, so I do this and this and this and this. I smoke them and then I do the thing and then I. Or actually, you don't even have to do any of that. Who am I kidding? Actually, you don't have to run an apiary. You just be like, and
just tell them what to do.
You guys do their thing.
Tell them to build a hive in this fucking building, and
it's nothing to do.
The bees will just do it.
It's self-managing. It's amazing.
I love that telepathy.
Telepathy is a wonderful, wonderful thing. All right, intro time. It's intro time. It's intro time. We do not stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing.
That is such a good analogy.
It's funny, the colors kind of fucked up on that. When it's coming through on the stream, it's not as rich as we see it. No, it's not even almost. Antiseptic and a snack. That's right. So you're gonna start a honey business up in the Cloud Spires. That's cool. Now I can create some inner politics between you and the Summer Hills. And eventually the Brightwoods, actually. I intend to do stuff with them. Nobody's asked, like, what's going on with Medina and all of them. And when Jern comes around...
Who's Medina?
Yeah, exactly, right?
What's going on? Who's Medina?
Medina Brightwood. Exactly, the dead memory, right? Like...
So many people, families and stuff.
Oh, that's what you're after? Oh my god. Whatever. I mean, I have to manage it. And like I say, I have to write for 7
When you write
people
stuff
plus.
going out and you're doing it all, it's actually like a book in your head.
Yes and no. I lose sight of a lot of details. I forget.
It is like a
time.
book in your head, though.
But that's the thing about...
even when you read a book, you forget a lot of stuff. It's still there.
I've seen interviews of George R. R. Martin where he's saying, you know, he does his best, but people know his work better than he does. Like, he is constantly getting emails about, you know, things that he's forgetting or things that he's ignored or things that he hasn't addressed. And it's disconcerting. And actually, he says that he's got to ignore it because otherwise he never writes anything because he finds he spends too much time checking to see if he can write something, right? And at the end of the day, I mean, he didn't say this, but I would say that when you forget things and you write around them, it can be an opportunity in kind of like the Bob Ross aspect where this isn't a mistake. This is happening because, right? And so you build on that. You say, oh, actually, I didn't fuck up. No, this happened because. And you could even say like that happens because this world really exists and get all Dirk Gently about it. But the one point I'm making is, you know, if you fuck up, don't backtrack. Just push through. Figure out a way to make it work. It's your own personal injection.
So anyways, the whole point there was that you wrote it all, so therefore it's you have like these people in the back of your mind all over the place, right?
And I would argue that I do my best. Yeah.
For us, it's you described them in one role playing session or 2 or 3, and you know it's just a vague storyline to us. You know what I mean? Like if I did sit down and read part of the wiki, but you know it's not really it's hard to absorb it all.
Sure,
it is hard because it's not a story, right? You got a story there behind your head of everything you're creating, right?
What are you gonna name your honey business?
Sarah's Honey.
There you go. Not Sarah's Sticky Sweet Slather. Not
Sarah's Sweet Sugar.
Please don't. That second was awful.
I'll have myself on the radio. Welcome to Sarah's Sweet Honey, where your honey desires are met.
Where the stickiness is real, the sweetness is thick.
Interested in a honey bath?
So
we provide.
There's a lot of opportunity for story in this sort of thing. Like, if what I like doing, the reason I like establishing all these various things about characters is because it gives us angles and opportunities. Okay? Now, here's a funny concept. To be secure, you gotta close off all entrances. You gotta lock things down. Nothing gets in, nothing gets out. That's secure. How do you connect to that? You don't. Now, why would you need to? To give you a point to life. Okay, so, the other side of this.
Do you guys have coffee?
We might have a pot of it still going.
Like from yesterday?
No, from this morning.
Yeah.
Alright, let's go grab coffee.
We'll be right back.
We'll be
right back.
Don't threaten me.
If you're just returning...
I love this setup, man. I always love your dungeon.
Sure. If you're just joining us, we are currently bitching and complaining about each other. On today's episode of the DM's Corner, we complain about stuff and drink coffee. Now we need a cow injection.
Yeah, I have cows in my legs.
It's called the land of milk.
Cows in my legs.
Cows in my legs?
So, some swath of cows out.
Where to take the story from here? If we recall,
That'd be uncomfortable.
Yeah, sorry, what's that? Comfortable?
You should do a 6-month break.
No, you still have the front line to deal with.
What front line?
You guys came back to the city.
Uncomfortable.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
That is right. Well, I think a swath of fireballs will help out.
You guys have a whole fucking dungeon to check out, and to be quite honest, given that Dad and Prismal weren't involved here,
Can I ask a question? Are we the only heroes in the city?
No.
Okay,
No,
so
that's
there's other heroes.
That's why the Summer Hills were there.
But then there is other heroes.
Yeah, Gabe died. Gabe died being a hero.
But that's what I mean. Like there's other people to be dealing with other things that are going on.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So.
That was my point. Faramore Barl and his soldiers, and Gabriel and stuff in Summerhill, and like that's the thing that our man here Joe doesn't seem to understand. And that's what I keep trying to get across to him. And what I get back is, you remember when this was a low magic campaign? Yeah, but remember when this was Dungeons and Dragons? Remember when that meant that there were other people in the world who were like you, just different? Remember when Faramore Barl was a level whatever the fuck paladin because you're a level 1 just starting out? And you're scoffing at me because I have a character who's a higher level? What? There's going to be people who are better than you. Get over it. There's going to be people who are in political positions. And it's like, I am so done with that aspect of it. Like, I don't care anymore to hear that. And I can't deal with that anymore. Until I see some fucking commitment, I'm not going to have somebody criticizing my commitments. It's just, make it happen, you know? That's what we're doing. What we're doing here. That's why we're here. We're here to make shit happen. We're doing our best to do that. You know, either you're part of it or you're not. Is what it boils off to. Mm-hmm. And this is why I say, if you're not having fun, why the fuck are you here? Is it just to be miserable?
And even if there is no commitment, he doesn't need to be a killjoy about it.
And that's just my point.
It's D&D. There's going to be fucking magic. That's how D&D works.
So ultimately, everybody has their expectations of the game, and I'm doing my best to deliver a cohesive and consistent story. But I do deliver certain beats, like a year's break from the time when you guys started and finished off the dwarven shit to a year later when the city's just doing better. The city's regrowing. You guys started things and got things set in motion.
So, what are the things that are on the agenda right now? You said I didn't realize we're still being attacked. I thought that was over with.
You're not being attacked.
You said the front line.
The front line.
What's that?
Was where the barbarian horde was a threat. Remember, the Black Mountain... Oh, because you boot me down in business. That's right. You have to go to the front line to sell honey. Gotta sell that honey, buddy. Get out there and make the world sticky and sweet. Okay, so... the front line of development, the front line of expansion, protecting our interests on the highway to the West Cloud Spires.
Okay.
So the Black Mountain tribe.
But that isn't like you said. There's other heroes. There's a million. I don't know what the population of this city is.
Well,
there is other people that are going to be dealing with shit. Mm-hmm. So,
but
the front lines isn't probably a huge concern for me.
Not as yet.
And for a lot of characters.
Not as yet.
So what else is it that is on the agenda besides that?
So that's...
You said something about a dungeon?
Yeah. The dungeon at the front line. There was a dungeon at the front line. And so it was required... The dungeon required everybody's attention. And so that was what you guys delved down into there for. It was because, hey, we found this.
Are you talking about the place where that pool was? Underneath? Okay.
And where you took the dwarven airship from to return back.
So my guy has nothing to do with any of that, really.
No, he doesn't. But
he's heard about it. He has heard
I
about it.
intend to write him into that.
Yeah, he's heard about it.
So there will be direction provided from Actilian, and he'll be hired by the church to be going and doing that. Actually, if you recall, when we first started you out, you were having a conversation with Mir, and so I'm
saying that I did have knowledge of it all.
That's right, and I'm setting you up to become the head researcher going over there and doing that. Right? So while you're looking for real estate and everything here, that's fine. You've got a base of operations, but you won't really be there because you're going to be at the front lines, and that's where the story is. And that's what I had to say to Joe, too. He's like, remember...
I don't know if this is a thing in your storyline, but does the phylactery or this goo or stuff have anything to do with the planet breaking up?
I guess Actilian would know that, yes, it does.
Or I suspect it may have
something. So, well, it's an offshoot of. It's a product.
Of it. So
right?
that's I'm not piquing my interest.
It's like when you burn wood, you get ash, you get carbon. You know,
because it says that remember when I read that thing to you about what my details are of it?
Yeah.
And that, like I'm a 24.
Dude, your description in my thing is freelance researcher. Yeah. It's not an automate. It's a freelance researcher.
But my prime research is the planet.
The world, yeah, and what happened, the cataclysm, the history, etc. And yeah, that's
the aftermaths of it.
Yes, Paul.
All these things.
Yes, Paul.
Okay.
I do listen to the players.
Clarifying.
I play drunk, but I write sober.
Just clarifying.
I play drunk, I write sober. And yes, no, what it comes down to...
we're on the same page.
I forget things, I do, but there's a reason these hooks exist, right? And like I say, I was saying earlier about connections and being closed off. Okay, so in allowing these open doorways, these open portals, these open connections, what it means is that you get more out of the game. You can be met with more stuff. You can have interactions brought to you, right? And more to the point, you can have things explained away. It doesn't necessarily have to be a negative influence. Just because you have an open doorway doesn't always mean enemies are going to walk through it. And that's where the thing with Joe is that he creates enemies and then needs to secure his place and then gets irate when people are coming around and trying to get into his place. And it's like, well, what do you expect? You know, this is how it is because of what you created. You get out what you put in.
Are you talking about the assassin that tried to kill him?
The assassination.
I thought that was totally legit and good.
Oh, sure. And I don't know
he didn't have a problem with it, did he?
I don't know that he would have an issue with that.
No, I thought he was
But there's other things too, right? Like the pedigree of the world, the university, the idea that there are vaults down below that have things. He would be the first to say that he hasn't had enough time to really go through the place, and he's arguing with me about things that he won't commit to. You know, he won't verbally commit to anything. He won't, literarily commit to anything. You know? So I have no basis from which to engineer anything like that, but I made the point that this was the old university and blah 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 blah, and then it comes up later, and I'm getting argued with, and it's like, no, I've really had it with that. I've really had it with that. If you have no input for me, I'm not going to accept this.
So back to the agenda thing here. Mm-hmm. So there is that dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
What is there anything else that was on the table that the group was looking at as problems, or is that just that dungeon?
I'm pretty sure that's it.
So, as of right now, the dungeon sooner or later needs to be looked into.
Mm-hmm. If it's still a dungeon, I'm rolling around. No, we're not playing tonight, dude. We're not playing tonight. You got to tell me what the schedule is like with Alex. What I would like to do is something like around noon or 1. So like we would be playing now. Yeah. But that'll be next week. So take some time, discuss it with Alex, figure out what you guys want to play, and in the meantime, I've got some ideas for this sort of campaign. You can run Kale if you like. We can run Kale before he leaves, or like years after the Cloud Spires, or just like whatever, right? Or maybe it's after he's left. He's just doing his thing as a rogue Cloud Spires agent. So that's all good. But the storyline I want to do for Sundays is going to be or not Cloudspire's agents, sorry, Covenant of Silver is going to be COS stories. So the Covenant of Silver is this big, kind of like the Empire, but they're not the Empire. There's lots of empires. It's just like, they're like the Empire. They fly around, they take what they want, and they get in fights with other big empires. That's what they do. They're completely airborne for the most part. They have mountain outposts here and there, somewhat secretive, right? Very well defended. Their specialty is airship-to-airship combat. And they're feared for... Oh, sorry. Not just... Their specialty is airship-to-land and airship-to-airship combat. And so that's where Fletcher's, or rather Kale's, diving comes from, is Covenant of Silver assault troops are trained to use cloaks of featherfall, right, as wingsuits. And in that, you get the ability to make your way into whatever.
I know all this, right?
Yeah.
No, I just, so you know. I was Covenant Environment. Well, these guys were Covenant Silver still.
And so that's the storyline that I want to do for Sundays.
Covenant of Silver?
Covenant of Silver stories, where it's like, and I've done this before, where every session
I think
is a
that you
one-off.
like the airships there, Fletcher. It's fun shit, actually.
It's going to be all one-offs.
Pretty much our whole campaign of Oberon was airships. It's a good time, man. I will admit that it's fun. We had good shit happen.
Yeah, it was, I don't know. It was a lot of really excellent, epic adventure.
A lot of ships get created.
Yeah, and blown away.
You still have my tank?
Your tank is up there, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, I was actually just showing it off.
There it is, your thing.
Yeah. I was just showing it off the other day. I was literally showing it off on stream, eh?
Yeah. This thing's fucking badass.
The engine is fucking cool. The fact that you did what you did with the dome part is impressive, but the engines, modeling the engines and putting the...
Bring the chat down so I can see what I'm doing here. Alright.
Dun, dun,
There's the
dun,
tank.
dun, dun,
Now, when Dooley drew it on the board, he was just joking around and made it look like a cock and balls. So I was like, okay, I can authenticate that. We've got the big machine guns on the nose of it. There's a turret gun on the center. You can see the tracks. Fucking sweet. That's how fucking detailed I am. And the rear end has got the big tailpipes coming out of it, because we're in that type of era. Big machine guns. And then inside of it, top comes off, you can see the two twin engines. Isn't that fucking sick?
Two big V12s.
Two big V12s.
Or V5s.
Double pumper Holly carbs on them. Even in the front of it, there's the drive belt for the two engines running together. Yeah, it was badass.
Yeah, dude, you put some time into that one too.
I love doing shit like this.
Yeah, it'll just fit up on top of that one. Lots of space. So I just told Fletcher we're moving him to Sundays and we're going to get a Sunday game going.
So not tonight?
Not tonight. No, I'm not doing it tonight.
No, that's nice.
After I'm done here, I might go back to Final Fantasy. I might actually do some work.
If that dice ever goes missing, I didn't steal it.
Might drizz it? No, I'm good. I got a long week ahead of me here.
Oh, yeah.
Long week of stressing. I've got a couple freelance clients that I think I can make work, and I don't have to go get another job. But we'll see. Okay, that's cool. Tell him to work with you. You guys fashion something up, and then get back to me. Dwarven's fine. Dwarven's fine.
Like, what a dwarf is like in this world would be, what do they call that? When you switch sides? Oh.
They actually have a term for it. Dwarves in this realm, there's several empires of them. but I can't remember what the term for them is. I gave him a term based on one of the gods, actually. One of the dwarven gods is of wandering, etc. And long and the short is that when they come of age, dwarves are sent out into the world. Go out in the world and experience the world. If you survive, great. If you come back, better. If you don't, it wasn't meant to be.
It's a hard life for them dwarves.
Fucking dwarves.
Dwinians.
Little people.
The Dwinians...
They bother me.
The Dwinians are nomadic dwarves who have chosen to settle down outside the kingdom. They may be estranged, banished, or simply decided they liked where they ended up. Communities of offshoot dwarves are regarded as followers of Mortimer Dwyn. There you go. Dwinians are no less honor-bound, kind, racist, or dwarven than other dwarves. They simply chosen to remain somewhere instead of return to their home kingdom. Perhaps one day they will, provided they're welcome back. And so that's it. They're not a dwarven empire per se.
The dwarven
They're
war
made up
machine.
of they're made up of whomever, whatever dwarves aren't part of an empire anymore. They're known as Dwinians. So if you're no longer part of one of the core, you're known as a Dwinian. And so he would be a Dwinian dwarven paladin gunsmith that worked or works for the Covenant of Silver. And that's what he does. I like falling. I like ships. I like these sorts of ships, sleek and silver.
I like falling.
The dwarven war machine.
But that's what it's for.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, the Covenant of Iron is something I haven't really expanded or examined.
Oberon is the only real link to it.
Yeah, it is. Although, actually, he's not the only one. There's gonna have a ranch for heroes. Do you mean like Michael Jackson Ranch, where I have all these retired heroes come around so I can feel them up and sing to them? Anyway.
Even to elaborate on stories, because you can always do whatever you want, is when Oberon was sent with to go with the group that he did, it was that they knew that they were going to be defecting, and that he's like a spy and he's going undercover, and that he was supposed to be a part of their group in this whole essence. Maybe Oberon was feeding the Covenant information the whole time that he was with the group, you know what I mean? Maybe all the attacks that were on that boat were because of Oberon.
That'd be funny, actually. I was just going to say that he's not the only...
Because Oberon never really defected.
No, fair, actually. Right. That is true. Although he wasn't a Covenant of Silver agent to defect from, right? He never defected from anything. He just kept with it.
He was told to stay with these guys, and he did.
And he did. He followed his orders.
Yeah. And he always was one to follow orders. That's how he was. That was his base.
No, that works. Actually, that works really well. And he survived. He survived through to the end.
Through crazy odds, even, too.
Yeah.
Isn't that strange? When that ship was attacking, why wasn't he taken?
Right. Yeah, fair enough. It's cool. Actually, that works.
That's what I like about D&D is that you're allowed to do whatever you want with the fucking story.
Yeah.
Anything that you can imagine.
Yeah, that's the whole point of it, right?
Yeah.
No, it's funny. It's funny to me to think that anybody would feel slighted if an injection didn't work out. Because the way I see it is, you don't pay for it. I mean, you pay points, but how'd you get the fucking points? You know what I mean? So I hand them out by the thousands for free.
So do I.
Right?
When I'm playing D&D about 2-3 times a night, I'll be like, who wants XP? And the first person who answers gets 10,000 XP.
There you go. That's exactly what it's supposed to be, right?
I'll do little games. I'll like last time I asked people, how old am I for 10,000 XP?
Yeah, like I'm not charging money for this.
Nobody got it. But
you know?
Nobody got it.
And I don't want to turn it into a for money thing. Points are rewarded for giving money, sure. Because, I mean, if you give me a donation, I want to give you something back, so it's automated. I'm not selling the XP, though. But what I did do is re-engineer the points so that it's kind of in line with the rest of the economy. So if you spend 20 grand or $20, you get 75 grand in points, right? That's 25,000 over what a patron gets per session, but a patron gets fucking 200,000 a month, right? For half as much. So if a person donates 20, and that was literally my thinking on this, is like I want it to be 50% more, because it's that finite, it's a one-time thing, right? And so it should be more, but it shouldn't be grossly more, because I don't necessarily want people donating as much as I want people. I don't want your $20. I want your 2 months of patronship.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like if I'm thinking about it business-mindedly, that's what makes sense. That much I know, right? I'm not a business-savvy person by any stretch. I'd be a lot better off in my life if I was. But that much I can absolutely say. And yeah, you know what? The schism and all the benefits that people have, you know, you get a custom icon here, you get onto the Discord there. It's not all together. I'm not gonna let, like on the patron front, it's a $10 thing that gets you into the Discord. It's $5 for a month of your red one's right there. There you go. That's it.
Sorry, I'm not trying to distract you.
No, it's all good. I'm rattling off numbers here and how I came to them and what makes sense to me and the entitlement that people should have as opposed to what they have, as opposed to what I get, you know? And it's like, I've looked at other streams. I've looked at lots of other D&D streams. And I don't have the marketing, and I don't have the audio, for one thing. But I have a lot of other things. I have a lot that a lot of other streams don't have. Number one, I acknowledge the crew that comes in. I mean, as a viewer here, you actually get acknowledged. But I'm not going to pander to any one person. You know, my one patron, sure. Of course I'll fucking pander to my one patron. Of course I'll pander to my 2 subscribers. You know? I bought Johnny his subscription. And I did that because he's always been a wicked supporter.
Johnny is the man.
But he's
been
also
around
the
since the day that I started playing.
He's also the most verbal. He's the most critical.
And he's helped.
He's helped, but he also will make snide remarks and whatnot and try to call me out on shit. And you know what? In a Machiavellian sort of way, that makes sense. He should be part of the crowd, right? Okay. But, you know, you have a choice there. You can either be a part of the crowd, or you can lead the crowd by example. And that's where I said to him, you know, the personal brand, you can't be looking to stick the personal brand in. And that's the thing that Veronica has had to accept, is that I will get little bits there. That's right, too.
I don't even know Lori.
No, fair enough. That's crazy, too. That is crazy. When Lori rage quit, oh man, I felt bad.
Yeah, I didn't know Lori.
When Lori rage quit, I felt terrible. But you know what? It was what it was. There was that constant back and forth, and it's not Lori's fault, and it's not Mike's fault. Although, no, fuck it, it was Mike's fault.
I do know that I've seen Boris on for a long time. I just don't know how long.
I think his greeting, if his greeting was turned on, it was oh, I don't even remember. But I am curious about one thing. It doesn't give rank. Oh, that's because the bot's turned off.
Oh,
I don't have the bot enabled right now, so whatever. I guess I should run the bot. I'm supposed to run the bot, aren't I? What was I saying earlier? Yeah, no, the idea of being slighted about injections is just mystifying to me. I look at other streams, there's Hyper RPG. You want someone to do something on Hyper RPG? Prices start at $10. Okay? $10 to get something done. $25 if you want like the actors to be all somatic and like to get them to sing a song or something like that. You know, people are throwing mad injections at the RPG at Hyper RPG as they're playing out. And sure, they have like 1,000, 4,000, however many thousands of people watching. But you're just watching fucking the injections go by, but it's not on an injection board. It's the donations alert.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay? And I'm not even joking when I say it's 25. Sing a song, do a dance, make a little love, get down tonight. One after the next. And these guys, they've got a game board and they've got a dungeon master. Okay? Game board, dungeon master. And then the rest of the screen is the players. but they're not at a table. They're standing there, and they've got props and costumes and fucking everything. Okay, and they're literally just playing out a drama that everyone's just punching feverishly and throwing money at, and it's all coming up the center. It's like, whoa! Like, whoa! Just the idea that people are doing this is crazy to me.
Have you ever looked into LARPing?
Yeah, I did LARP for a little while.
Did you do like I tried to get into it but I couldn't find like anything in Kelowna. Like
Rudiashi actually does a lot of LARP.
Totally
I'm pretty sure I set
that.
your rank to old school DMCA. So your rank never changes. It's like you have rank not S but C plus, if you will, or something goofy like that.
Yeah, I would like I tried to get it just as like out even seeking you out. I couldn't find anything.
Yeah, no. There is a Kelowna by Night if you want to get into the vampire LARP.
No, I don't know. I did see that.
Vampire LARP is gay, for lack of a better term. Like, it's alright, but the people are typically make it not so great. Hey, you and me both, right on. So the LARP that I got into for a little while was set up by some folks who did vampire, but didn't want to do vampire anymore, and so they made up rules that were largely based on vampire or a mesh of other things, and they wrapped their own world around it and played that, and it was fun actually. We legit enjoyed it, for a little while. But it's a really difficult thing to approach as a new group if nobody knows each other, and you got to be into it. You got to be into it.
I would be right into it. I love acting.
No, me too. Right, and so there's people who are into acting, and there's people who are into story writing, and then there's people who don't know how to act but are really into the story writing, really want to be part of the thing, right? And so there's no such thing as a stagehand in a LARP game, even though there should be. Especially if you're doing, you know what? If you did a stream of LARP, it wouldn't even be a fucking game anymore. At that point, you're literally just doing a drama. And you're trying to do this drama on camera. Now I'm wondering if anybody does LARP on Twitch. Really wondering.
Google it. Or do a search on Twitch.
Do I want to know?
I'm taking my breaks and I'm talking to Jen here. Taking my breaks soon. You want me to come?
LARP, Twitch. What am I seeing? Is this just a podcast? Doesn't really have any views. All right.
But yeah, I would like to do that. So what happened? Why did you just stop doing it?
The group didn't work out.
No.
The group as a whole, like
people arguing, not getting along.
Not getting along, and they shifted focus and couldn't make. They shifted not focus, but they shifted direction for the group and couldn't come to a direction. Like couldn't agree on a direction.
Okay.
So literally it just disbanded and fell apart, and I never heard about what the last I heard from the guy. He wanted to go and live off the grid, and apparently someone like me could be very helpful that way. And I'm like, I make websites. What the fuck am I gonna do off the grid? Like, what are you talking about? Anyway. So yeah, the LARP group, like I said, it's hard to get a group together, especially if nobody knows each other. And then once you have this group together, everyone's got to continue to get along while you're dealing with each other's egos. Because again, you're all actors acting out, right? I don't know. For the most part, it's not hard.
What did you play when you were
What the shit did I play? Oh yeah. So we were playing this world that was
No,
based
what
on,
character were you? What were you? A wizard?
I was the projected the projected visage of a magic carpet that had a history to it of working for heroes and villains and had all sorts of stories. So yeah, that was literally what I was. I was the psychic visage of a carpet, and so I would carry a carpet around with me all night, and tell people of my stories, and had abilities as a result, right? Like I could get across a room really quickly and stuff like that, right? Or I could pick somebody up easily, and float them around and blah blah blah, right? Like I was a carpet. That's what I was. I was a flying carpet for. And that was my character, you know. And other people were.
Did you enjoy playing it?
It was fun for a night. The people that were there, we got along, and we had fun playing through the story elements the way we did. It was easy to. It was easy to visualize what was going on because the story writers were experienced at it, and so there was a direction. Now I played LARP when I was very young, okay, and I didn't get what it was. And so the whole point of LARP, in and of itself, is to be playing a game with a beginning and an end, and you're there to fill the middle, so to speak. Does that make sense? So was it fun?
How many nights did you play?
The one that I enjoyed as an adult,
this one as the.
I think it was one session.
Oh, really? Just didn't work, eh?
One session it went really well, and like I said, they had played a lot of Vampire. I'd played Vampire with them as well.
Yeah.
In the past, and I mean, I've played lots of Vampire LARP. Well, lots. Handful of sessions, really.
Yeah.
I mean, when I really think back, and that was when I was 16, 17, 18. 17, 18, 19, somewhere in there. Yeah, something like that. Oh my god, way back on. And I didn't get it. Like I didn't get it. I didn't get what the story, how the game worked, etc., etc., etc. Like I understood the rules, but no one really explained to me that there's gonna be a point to this. Things are gonna go this way or that way, and this is what we're doing here. It was just throwing a babe in the bathwater, or throwing a babe in the lake, and let's see it float. You know, let's see, sink or swim. And I sank. It was terrible. Like I couldn't tread water in that environment because I had no point of reference for this game. I didn't know where the game was in it all. Mm-hmm. Yeah, looking back on it, it's actually kind of funny for me to, like, it's memory lane happening for me right now. Sorry. Anyway, so getting back to it is. In my later years, when I played it, and I felt like I was, playing a game and acting out a part, etc., I enjoyed it. I had a point of reference for game and RP, etc. So,
Gotta get going.
well,
Jen's calling me. She's got her break, and I'm gonna go hang out with her.
all right, sir. I'm going to shut this down to everybody who's been watching. Thank you very much. Join us on Fridays and soon to be Sundays as well for Dungeons & Dragons live around the table. In the meantime, I hope you will have a wonderful day, weekend, and week. And may your 20s always land on 20s.